Welcome one, welcome all. We are here with the grand final of the Evesports EGL One 2020 main event. We've been playing out over 7 weeks to reach this point. We started off with 16 teams at the top of the event, and we've reached down to the final 2 teams who are going to be locking horns in this grand final, a best of 5 to determine who's going to be winning the inaugural Evesports EGL One 2020 main event. Reese, what an amazing journey it's been. We've got Goliath Gaming versus ATK, arguably 2 of South Africa's best teams, or top 2 teams going head to head. What a fantastic game we have lined up. I'm so damn keen for this. How are you feeling?
I'm so excited, Matt. After yesterday, everything that GG showed us that they're bringing to the table, their honeymoon period is sort of starting to settle. They've got all this room for growth, and already they're putting up really fantastic results. I think today is going to be absolutely astronomical. ATK really has only had their noses bloodied once with one long game, and that wasn't enough even to take them a map off of them so far. So I'm thinking today is going to be the day, Matt.
You're thinking that today is the day? You're saying right out from the get-go, today is the day that Goliath take a map off them, or are they going to go the distance and win the whole series?
I think at minimum a map, but it would be, I think it's going to be a tight series. If they play like they did yesterday, show the cohesion that they did have, those good mid-round calls that they were putting up, like everything seems to be just going very, very right, pardon me, in their camp right now. So I think it's looking really good from that perspective. But at the same time, ATK is just that mountain, right? That like Everest to climb in South African CSGO. So we'll have to see if Goliath can reach the summit, or if they become another one of the bodies on the way to the top.
We're going to have to find out and wait and see, because we're going to be finding out soon how this game's going to be looking. We're going live at 12 o'clock for anybody who's wondering. But before we dive too much into the analysis, let's just talk about the event as a whole a little bit. So, I mean, Evesports was started as a new tournament organizer in South Africa a couple months ago. Probably just started as a bit of a dream for you, a bit of an idea in the pipeline, which you've now been able to develop into a completely operational and functioning tournament organizer. Here we stand 7 weeks later after the event's been playing out. I mean, just from a personal point of view, how's it to see this progressing the way that it has?
You know, Matt, I woke up today and I was lying in bed and I just thought to myself, like, we made it. We made it. We did all the things, you know, everything we set out to do, bar a very small percentage of like add-ons and stuff we wanted, we managed to produce, and it wasn't without massive efforts from guys behind the scenes, you know, unsung heroes. Especially old Crim, his coffee, Mr. Nick, he has been an absolute soldier in this. Josh as well, you know, Kazi as well, you yourself, everybody's really been, I think, putting everything that they can into this event, and it shows with everything that's been put together and stuff. I couldn't be prouder, to tell you the honest truth.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, hey, what a great journey it's been, and what an awesome future that's coming up as well. I mean, so much to come in the future as well if everything goes according to plan, right?
100%, man. We've got plans to do other events and other tournaments and different games as well, not just CSGO. CS is, you know, it's home, so it's a comfy starting point.
That's good. And, good. Keep CS as the home.
Yeah, so that's why we started off here, is because, you know, our team is very well versed on it and pretty much had done the most in CS until this point. So it was a kind of a comfort pick, if anything, as we do with games and maps and stuff. You know, you get comfort picks. CSGO definitely was that comfort pick. But that's in the future. What I can say is what we will do very shortly after this tournament is actually have the communities show their support for their titles, and then have them sort of tell us what they want to be produced in the future.
Well, there we go. I mean, power to the people type of organization. You love to see it. Roll on 2021. Lots of exciting things coming from Evesports. So guys, make sure you follow all their social media, subscribe to the channel, and just stay involved in the mix. So there we go. All right, shifting into the event we've had over the past 7 weeks. Let's have a quick look at the bracket here and see exactly how these teams have reached the grand final. They've both had incredible journeys to reach this point. They've both had to fight really hard to get to this point as well. As you mentioned, even though ATK didn't drop a map per se, they were pushed quite hard by Energy. and just going all the way to the top. They didn't really have any struggles until they reached that Energy match. The first game that they played, or that first map against Energy, was a Mirage, and they won that 22-20. It was like such a hard-fought game, went the distance. Energy had 3 map points on that map as well. They actually should have won that game, or that map at least. And eventually they didn't, and ATK came back to punish them, and then they shifted over to Nuke, where ATK had a bit easier time of it. Then ATK went up against Goliath, who they're playing today in the grand final, and they beat them 2-0 as well, not without sweating a little bit though, right? In particular on Dust 2, they had to work really hard for that win. It was 16-13, it was hard fought throughout, and it seemed like there were moments where Goliath could have actually got across the line on that map. So that definitely ups the ante coming into this game a little bit, but outside of that close map, they did still win the series 2-0, and they progressed through to the best of 5 grand final. Remember guys, there's no map advantage in the series today, which means that it's going to be whoever wins this is going to have to win 3 maps properly done all the way from the word go. And the advantage that they got from coming through the upper bracket was they didn't have to play the game yesterday against DNMK. They got their Saturday off, they got more time to prep and more time to just sort of feel themselves out and their opponents before they came in today's match.
100%. They've basically had a week off of competition, and then GG had to prepare themselves, like you said, for the DNMK game. And honestly, DNMK was looking pretty strong coming into that. They had a very slow start, which was quite disappointing to see for them. They really on the first map didn't really pitch up at all, and then it was only halfway through the second map that they sort of came online, and by that time GG had already secured such a dominant position. They came out absolutely guns blazing, easily their best performances of the tournament so far. So it was a right time, right place to do that, all things considered. I mean, 16-3 on the first map. Every single player was fragging really consistently. I mean, Zip finished on a 19-4, which was his absolute best of the tournament. Then similarly for map 2, like it went 16-12, but they were on map point for 5 rounds in a row. So it was just a case of getting DNMK to trip up, lose their momentum, and then close out the map, which they did. So they entered, I think, quite comfortably into today. And based on our interview with Elusive, they were saying, he feels like they only have 40% of their total
I was going to talk about
right
that
now.
It's actually a crazy thing to say, right? Because they actually looked really good against DNMK yesterday. They pushed ATK the distance when they played in that upper bracket final as well. In particular on Dust 2, there were moments, as I said, it seemed like Goliath could have won that game. So the fact that he says they're only at 40%, it really leaves this anticipation of, well, what is this team going to be achieving in 3 months? I'm really keen to see. So it does. We do have to be realistic about this. I mean, ATK has been the best team in South Africa by a big margin. They've been head and shoulders above everybody else in the country. They've proven time and time again that they are the best team in the country, and with good reason as well. Every single big event they've taken a part of, they've gone on to win, and sometimes without even dropping a map. So it's not even like who's going to beat them, it's who can even take a map off of this. What weaknesses does this team even have? They've got such a strong map pool. They can play all the opponent's strengths. They sort of have that freedom to eliminate a map here or there as well, because they play all 7 maps. Maybe like Train is the one map they don't play as much, but still it must be so tough to go into a series against ATK, because also, lest we forget, this ATK team has been the same team for about 6 to 7 months now. So they're really well oiled. They're super polished right now. They've had all the time to work on the really finite details. All their protocols, all their fundamentals are all super stock and looking really good. And now we hear Goliath, who's only 40% of their potential ceiling. There's a big disparity in these two teams right now in terms of where they are. So it is going to be a very tough game for Goliath coming into this one. I have no doubt about that.
100%, Matt. I mean, if we just go through ATK's tournament results so far, they faced Ubiquitous Gaming in their first round. They've actually only, until this point, had to play 4 BO3s as well to get into the finals, because they have been undefeated continuously like that. But 16-1 and then 16-1 again, 16-0, 16-3. Then the first real test was Energy Esports, which managed to close down out 20-20, and then quite comfortable 16-11 on Nuke. And then it was almost exactly the same setup versus the Goliath in the first round, where they went 16-13, but then won Nuke 16-9. And it's like, they have that sort of slow to start, like half of a, let's say a quarter of a map, I would say, is their sort of escalation time and warming up to what their opponents are doing, and then suddenly it's just full momentum unleashed, and they make very, very few mistakes. Overextensions and that sort of stuff is rare from them. When they do make it, it's usually in the intent of like getting info or something to that effect. Generally,
like it's calculated.
100%, definitely. There's very few mistakes and stuff to capitalize, and you almost have to force them into a path of making mistakes to then take the rounds. And against a play like a group of players like that, who are all so solid in clutch situations or whatever the situation, 2v4s, etc., they can win like potentially any round. If they have a gun that can one-shot headshot, it's on, like with ATK. And it's a rough thing for GG to go up against, definitely.
Yeah, on top of you mentioning how they don't make many mistakes, or in fact barely make any mistakes, they also punish teams heavily for mistakes that they make. They are one of the best teams at just sort of capitalizing on any small mistake a team makes and then completely exponentially running away with that afterwards. So you need to be really on point and really thinking about all your movements and having a reason for everything that you're doing. Because if you just sort of lackadaisically make a push or a peek, you're going to get caught off. It's going to leave your team in a disadvantaged situation. And ATK, I would love to know the percentage, but they win so many of their 5 versus 4s. When they get that opening pick, they nearly always convert the round. So yeah, really important to make sure that you're not making mistakes they're going to be capitalizing on. At least no unforced errors. You know, forced errors are a different story. That's where they're using useful effectively. There's solid peaks coming out from the team as well. You know, not much you can do about unforced errors. I mean, rather forced errors. But unforced errors, you can't be afforded to be making here in this grand final against ATK. But let's shift into the veto now, Reese, because we have got the maps decided for today's best of 5 Goliath Gaming. Really important that they actually got the first ban in, because it meant that they got to pick the first 2 maps out of the 3 maps that are going to be played in the best of 5. And why that's so important is I'll jump into right now. But as we see, the veto first map ban was Vertigo by Goliath. ATK banned Train as expected. Goliath Gaming picked Dust 2. Now, Dust 2 is the map that Goliath Gaming have looked the most formidable on in the past couple of weeks, and I'm really glad to see that they picked that first up. They give themselves the best chance of going up 1-0 here in the best of 5 and allowing themselves to start settling into the occasion. We see ATK pick Overpass, their bread and butter, one of their favorite maps. That's going to be a tough ask for Goliath. And then Inferno is the third map, and this is why I was saying it's really important that Goliath Gaming got to pick first in this veto, because they picked Dust 2 in the first map, and then they picked Inferno in the third map, which means that even if they lose 3-0, they got a chance at playing their best 2 maps in the series before it reached that 4th or 5th point. So yeah, really important that Dust 2 and Inferno feature in the first 3 maps of this series for Goliath.
And another thing to add on to that is just the like the tail end of that being Nuke and Mirage. Traditionally, Nuke is terrifying against ATK. They look comfortable from start to end. Their T side is vicious. They've got pretty much all the toolkits for that map sewn up. And then, especially for Goliath, with their one result against WRG, where they went 16-9 Train, lost Mirage 16-12, and then won Inferno 16-5. And that's, I think, is important that Mirage is sort of towards the end of it, because, well, it's a twin-edged blade if they get there, right? I think if it's 2-2, it's very favorable for ATK, because it does seem to be a slightly weaker area for Goliath Gaming. But it being so far down in the track and not having access to Train, which I think they would have preferred as a 5th by far. Their Train seems to be quite well set up on their CT side. It would have been, I think that's a dark horse entry in the 5th position there for them, and it's actually really preferable for ATK though.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that this map pool is, even though, like I say, it's great that Dust 2 and Inferno feature in the first 3 maps of the series, I just don't see Goliath Gaming winning any one of Overpass, Nuke, and Mirage right now. It's just 3 maps that have traditionally been so strong for ATK, and it's like, at best, I could see Goliath Gaming losing the series 3-2, especially considering they haven't had the time to work with. That's really what I'm predicating my decisions off of here, and my guesses and my choices, because as Elusive said, they've only really accomplished 40% of what they're capable of, or they only reached 40% of their potential skill ceiling. So when they've had more time, they'll really be able to iron out the maps like Overpass, Nuke, and Mirage. But it just seems like they haven't had enough time yet to reach that point where they're going to be able to go toe-to-toe with ATK and be very competitive and actually potentially win the map. The one thing I will say is Elusive's, he's dubbed as a bit of like an Overpass god, I think. Like, he just reads the map so well, makes really good mid-round calls on the map as well. And that's what you want on the T side of this map. You want an IGL who makes fantastic mid-round calls, because you really just want to be playing defaults nine times out of 10 on a map like Overpass on the T side. You want to spread out, you want to take your control, and you want to base your decisions off of what sort of information and control you've been able to take throughout your default. And when you have a man as smart as Elusive who's pulling the strings and moving his pieces around the map, that's when it works really well for the team, and they become very difficult to read it from the CT's perspective. So I'm not counting them out completely. They do have the chance and the potential. I mean, when you just look at the individuals on the server, there's firepower aplenty. There's explosive individuals across the board. And we're going to be going live soon here, guys, with this best of 5. Reese, what are your final thoughts before we jump into it?
I think, like you say, the ban went as good as it could have gone for GG to get 2 out of the first 4 maps that they are in their strongest areas
3.
on, and a guaranteed, you know, of them being 2 of the first 3. I think definitely the ban went as and the picks as well as GG could have hoped for. And I think ATK similarly, if they get a comfortable entry on this and Dust 2 goes a little bit more their way and it's more of a 16-10 than a right down to the wire 16-13 as it was before, they're equally going to be feeling quite comfortable going into Overpass. It should be an early 2-0 setup, and then it's massive pressure on GG. I just want to see the best play from GG or from both of these teams come out that we've been seeing, you know, over this tournament, and not to have anybody left feeling like they didn't bring their best to the day, you know, kind of thing. So that's my hope for both teams right now.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I completely agree with you. Let's just see both the teams giving it their best, giving it their all, not leaving anything out there, and then no one can be really disappointed. You know, let's see a competitive series here. That's what we're hoping for. But I think it's really important, if we are going to have a competitive series, that Goliath Gaming win Dust. If they lose Dust 2 here at the start of this best of 5, I mean, we could see ATK run away with a 3-0 victory here, which is just wouldn't be ideal from an entertainment standpoint. Hey, I mean, everybody loves watching ATK dominate because they just play such clean Counter-Strike and it looks really good. But we also want a competitive affair tonight. So let's see how that ends up playing out. But as we've mentioned a number of times now, the Veto, the first 3 maps have played out probably their best they could have for Goliath Gaming. So they've been afforded the best opportunity to be competitive here in the series. So let's see if that's going to end up being the case here or not. So welcome everybody. Evesports EGL One 2020 main event grand final. We're about to be kicking things off here on Dust 2. Goliath Gaming's map pick here, first map to start off the series. We also have a couple giveaways today, guys. So yeah, make sure you stick around for the giveaways. We're going to be giving away a 250 Rand Steam voucher sometime throughout the day. And we're going to be giving away an EveTech backpack as well. So 2 fantastic giveaways coming your way sometime throughout the series. So yeah, we'll let you know how to get involved in that when the time is right. And outside of that, we're ready to kick off here in this best of 5.
Yeah, and it's looking well, the starting sides for the maps as well as ATK have opted to start on CT, which I quite like for them as well, because their T side is insane on the attack, and anything that they can get over, if they can do 8-7 half, it's big pressure then onto GG, because until the double orb setup comes out, their CT side doesn't look like it's going to be able to deal with that attack. If it's just rifles versus rifles, the crossfire setups and the running paths that ATK have been showing over this tournament are just very difficult to deal with. They trust each other extremely highly in those environments. So Dust 2, they do it quite a lot of good long bursts from them, good short pressure, good short control. They tend to do very, very well in controlling the mid, at least on a short and cat, which they can really do almost anything from there into any bomb site, mid to Bs or short to A. Can have a late long lurk for a crunch or something to that effect. So,
well, here we go.
Looks like guys are ready though.
Yeah, all the R's are in chat. We're waiting for our illustrious admin, Mr. Nobody, to finalize proceedings and allow us to kick on here with this best of 5 grand final between Goliath Gaming and ATK. 7 weeks, 16 teams, all to reach this point. They're going to be locking horns. Winner takes home 25,000 rand. Loser takes home 12,500 rand. So, I mean, still a pretty purse going either way. And into the pistol round we go. Goliath Gaming, they've shown a tendency to be very aggressive on their T-side pistol rounds in general. And we can see that might be the case here once again. They've got 4 players just charging into upper dark. And are they going to be setting up for the pop, or are they going to be splitting down into the lower dark? Seems like that's going to be the case. But Fady, with open arms, takes on 2, makes it a 3rd as well, and shuts down the Goliath Gaming attack before it can even get going. And look at this aggression from ATK. They're pushing up 1, they're pushing through shorts, and they're asserting their dominance right now, showing Goliath Gaming, we are not giving you any room to work with for free. And now it's just ADM left, as he quivers in his boots right now. Not even a single drop of blood drawn yet, as ATK have all 5 players alive and kicking, and they're not going to be losing anybody. It's clean 1-taps across the board, and that's exactly how ATK would have wanted to kick off this final. And Reese, that's no coincidence that they played their piss around like that. They want to assert their dominance on anybody they're playing against. They want to flex. They want to show and prove that they're the better team, and that's exactly how they're going to be doing it.
And they do it with emphatic fashion. Fady sets up a really nice off angle in low as 3 players run into the trap, and he's gonna crunch down on you. It's a bear trap, that is. It's not even a mouse trap, and just takes them limb from limb. And GG are gonna full save here, and they're gonna push through the mid doors. And they get one though. Adara and Dweezil are able to pick one up, and they get an M4. There's only 1 player left here on B, and he's got his work cut out for him. But Dweezil manages to make it in. Quite a sneaky little bomb plant over here. That's gonna be good money for them at minimum in the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. At least they get a couple of kills, they get a bomb plant. Can Dweezil find another here? No armor, which means as soon as he catches the bullets, his aim punch goes through the roof. But yeah, I mean, a bomb plant and 2 kills for Goliath Gaming in a round. I mean, I'm not even sure they invested anything. There might have been like a P250 here or there. But point is, they're certainly going to be happy with that end result. And they're going to be able to fully buy up now. So good opportunity for them to get on the board, right? We saw they had a phenomenal T side against DNMK yesterday. They went up 12-3 on their T side. And as soon as they got the rifles in their hands, their defaults were played to perfection. And DNMK didn't have the answer. Let's see if ATK will, as we go into this first full gun round. So something I want to touch on nice and early here. Fady towards middle. One of the keys for ATK in their defense here on the CT side of Dust 2. He plays it very, very well as well. He knows when to take his fights. He knows when to aggress. He knows when to back off and support his B-bomb side player, which is Mistem, of course. And certainly somebody to keep your eye on if you are the mid player for your team on Dust. Also, notice he doesn't always have an AWP. He likes having a rifle playing in that part of the map as well. And traditionally, we have an AWP who secures that part of the map. So always good to keep an eye on him and see how he plays it out. The boost up comes through from Doru. He might catch Gadaro off guard here. You can see this passive default playing off for Goliath right now. They've secured short control. They've got a player in upper dark. Gadaro just feeling out middle as well. And the split Goliath just sort of post across the map and they wait for something to come their way. But it's Doru who takes down that mid control of Adaro.
Just slowing it down. On the after that are GG. They don't want to be too foolhardy. They are bleeding some util, which is nice. There's pretty much only flashes and 1 molly now left on ATK. So if they do manage to secure a bomb site, it's going to be a lot harder to retake without smokes. They do have kits across the board, so no problems on the time. But they've got a short push getting in quite deep over here. There are players in position, but they're not giving away anything. They are spotted out now, and there's a nice kill in mid that comes through for GG. Puts it back into a 4 versus 4. But they need to be careful of the short push. They need to get more info before they commit. And they're actually going to go towards B, which
beautiful.
Is going to work out for them very, very well. There's only 1 player on site, and it's Mistem. He's got a lot to make up here. He's getting support from Slowly, though. He catches them out from behind by pushing the smoke, and he manages to pick up 2. And there's still Mistem left here on the side. He does get taken down eventually by ADM.
No time! There's no
time.
time! I didn't realize the time was running out. I don't know if Goliath didn't realize either. That was just played to perfection by Mistem, the way that he didn't take any fights at all. He knew he just had to stay alive there. Goliath were frantically trying to find him on the bomb side. Not only that, though, Slowy absolutely bails his team out with that double kill. I'm not sure that he pushed through the CT smoke there or what happened, but those 2 kills were imperative. What a massive play there. And that's a big let off a round, which seemed like Goliath Gaming were going to be getting across the line on. I love their mid-round decision-making there. They're pushing up short, but ZipZip gets the kill on middle. So Goliath Gaming continue to fake the short take. ATK are completely committed to it. And then they just switch up for that B hit, that mid to B hit. And it was perfectly timed. And, oh man, they just run out of time. That's a big let off. Slowy with the AWP, going to be opening things up, as he has been throughout this entire year, the most dominant player in South African Counter-Strike. And I say that with 100% confidence. Of course, referring to the 2020 period, but I think that Slowy definitely has been the best player in South Africa for 2020. Elusive does take down Mistim. So again, Goliath Gaming making some moves, and this was just an eco round for them from Goliath's perspective, and they've been able to this time secure control of the B-bomb side and plant the bomb in time. Oh man, ADM finds Slowy on the angle. Blaze just would have been able to take him down if there was an extra second there. And now he's left in the 1 versus 2 clutch. He has a flash and a molly rather to aid his cause. Fortunately, Molly is not going to be flushing anybody out. He has realized both of the players' positions, but the crossfire setup is very tough for him to deal with. And Elusive on the off angle will take him down. So there we go, Goliath Gaming on the board.
And the RGL for GG going huge once again. This is becoming a bit of a tradition for him on Dust 2. He finds a number of kills in the round and sets his team up for the win there. And they make actually basically the same play, just a little bit more finessed, and it works out. And now ATK, even though they've won 3 in a row, they're forced into deco, which is they've bought completely out on. So they're hinging their bets quite heavily on this. If they lose this, they're definitely going to have to eco the next round and then only be able to buy after that, and suddenly it's 3-3.
Yeah, might even have to double eco if they lose this round. So this is a great opportunity for Goliath, as you say, to potentially level the scores up. Nice read from ATK. They have got the players stacked in the right parts of the map, but Fady can't win his gun duel. They really needed to find a kill before he goes down. Also gives Goliath Gaming some information as to what's going on here. They would have realized that it required a few more body shots. There's some armor on the table. He had the Desert Eagle, so they know that they're up against a force right now. And Elusive, he's just edging his way forward. Dweezil takes the first contact, but now they know where Mistim is. And looking like one-way traffic in this anti-force spy. So guys, welcome one, welcome all. Evesports EGL One 2020 main event. We're in the grand final right now. We've just kicked things off. Let's get as many people here watching this game as we possibly can, supporting local Lacquer Counter-Strike. We have 2 of the best teams going head-to-head right now. And this is going to be a fantastic feature throughout this afternoon. And there we go, hard eco for ATK, and they're only going to be getting $2,400 when they lose this round. So it's not really enough to justify a full buy. Slowy won't have his beloved AWP, they won't have much util, and I want to see ATK double savior.
And they've sort of put themselves in a position that they have to, right? And maybe underestimating GG somewhat. GG playing out that anti-eco really well, and looks pretty good here, especially with Mr. ZipZip getting 2 kills towards mid, puts them in a 5v3. Mistim could be a snake in the grass here. He seems to be cutting in between the T's, and they've got a good idea that they would be towards mid. I'm sure someone will check lowers or check B uppers over here. Maybe not. He might be able to catch someone out from behind, and they're just looking for damage. ADM's making it difficult though. He's just not missing right now. It's just Mistim left with a little usp.
I mean, there we go. And ADM doesn't miss any further. He's actually a player that I'm really keen to see how he progresses over the next few months, because they're going to go for the gun round here. ATK, all right. Personally, I really would have liked to have seen the double savior so they can get the double AWP, they can get full util, but they're keen to have a crack at it with the rifles. But just to finish off what I was saying about ADM, I feel like with the last iteration of the Goliath Gaming roster, he wasn't really able to tap into his full potential like we all saw in 2018 under the Energy banner. He was just one of the most dominant players in South African Counter-Strike. Didn't mind getting aggressive, didn't mind getting in the faces, backed himself in every single aim duel he took, was very confident, and it just felt like he might have dropped off a little bit in the past couple of months because he was burdened with the responsibility of IGLing. Now with Elusive in the roster, who's jumped up on the Xbox in the smoke, but Slowy's going to be finding him out. How aggressive is this from Slowy? Will take down Elusive, as I say, he's taken over the reins as IGL, which has allowed ADM to free himself up a little bit. So I'm really keen to see how ADM's going to be progressing into the next couple of months in this new iteration of the Goliath Gaming roster. But into the 7th round we go, 4 versus 5. I spoke about how consistently ATK convert their 5 versus 4s, where they find these opening kills in the round, they nearly always get across the line. But I like this from Goliath Gaming. They've lost a player, so now they want to hedge their bets. They group up, all 4 players on top of one another, and they're just working their way out long. Blaze is going to be getting some footsteps. He gets the audio cues. He's got the information, and he hasn't been hard cleared just yet. A flashbang does come through, but he won't be peeking off it. In fact, Slowly wants to try and take the bait here. Wants to try and take the heat off his teammate in pit. He does better than that. He finds the kill. Blaze now able to activate, and he finds one as well. Decent trades for Goliath, though. 2 for 2. Just keeps him in touch here in the round. They've got a smoke to get across. In fact, it is the double smokes. They've got the full wall right now. And this is doable for Goliath. Seems like there might be a bit of a boost coming up here. Fady going to be going aerial. He gets the verticality, but ADM, aware of the potential, will be planting safely. So the molly going to force him out, though. Oh, nice util usage, but they actually avoid continuing the boost, but still they find a Daro and ADM. So no problems there to close out the round for ATK. And they're straight back to winning ways.
Nice 3 in a row though for GG. With the bomb plant now, they're going to have very, very healthy economic situation. So they're not leaving this round empty-handed, all things considered. 43 is a nice start for them. They probably going to want a little bit more momentum in this T-sign off. We're probably looking at a 9-6 is their hope, and they've got to play for that double orb setup. And once they do get that up, it has proven really difficult to push into, just because you all your long angles are held down very tight with, like, it's literally a 50-50 at that point if you push it, whether you're going to die or not. And the close angles are being held by players like ADM and Daro, and pushing into them is equally difficult.
Oh,
Dweezil
okay.
opening things up here with an aggressive orb play on Cat. He gets one, Slowly trades elusive.
Oh,
ADM gets one, but Dweezil hits another one. Absolutely disgusting shot to secure the A bomb site. And this is on the after of losing a buy, and with a slightly stronger buy. ATK floundering here.
Yeah, this is a fantastic response from Goliath Gaming after losing the previous round. ATK have no choice but to try and save these weapons, but I'm not even sure if that's going to be a realistic prospect when you see there's a snake in the grass. The lurker ADM is in the tunnels right now, in a position to potentially deny them the save. And there we go. Doru finds one, but it's just a consolation frag at this point. So something I want to talk about is actually Dweezil's AWPing, because to me, it actually seems like he's elevating a game to a level that he's never really been at before. He's taking on the role as the main AWPer in a team which is stacked with potential AWPers. Every single one of Elusive, Adara, ADM, and ZipZip, the players around him, have all played as the main AWPer in different teams throughout their past. So the point is he's got a big job to do right now, and he's going to have a lot of people around him who feel like they're also capable of fulfilling that role. Of course, they're going to believe in him and have faith, but they know what it takes to be a top AWPer. And my point is, I think that Dweezil's actually been looking really good over the past couple of weeks under this main AWP role. I'm super keen to see how that's going to be progressing over the next few weeks.
That he has done well, and it's another short save by a round, and GG, or ATK, with some good positioning, some good well-timed aggression, managed to pick up the first kill and get another rifle in their eco here.
Yeah, this is dangerous.
Could be very detrimental to GG's push. They were betting on 2 rifles, but
yeah,
not a man down +3.
Just have to wonder the decision there from Dweezil to get so aggressive up short without any support. ATK have a tendency to push middle and peek middle like that on their eco rounds. And the rest of the team was being fairly passive, taking long control. I don't think it's as important to show presence and take control in your anti-eco rounds. And Fady gets another one. He's found... Oh, it was actually Blaze who got the other kill, but regardless, that's 2 kills for ATK and nothing back in response from Goliath. They have been able to work their way up long, but ATK are in position. They've got 3 players here right now. The flashbang is going to be allowing Doru to peek up off of it. He's going to be spotting them all completely blind. He can't find the shots immediately, and it's actually a nice flash to blind Doru up. Elusive finds a kill, but he gets traded out immediately afterwards. Still, though, Goliath Gaming march on, but the rotations have come through, and timing's starting to dwindle here. Doru's also been brought down fairly low, but ZipZip with the AWP continues to do work here. Fady, alive and kicking, is without armor, but he's still getting the damage done. A second kill for him in the round, and it's just Adara left, and he's not long for this world either. ATK just continue brawling their way to the wins here. Even when it seems like Goliath Gaming have all their odds in their favor, they're still unable to convert. That's a big let-off, Reese. I spoke about at the top of the broadcast on the panel how you can't afford to make unforced mistakes, and losing your anti-eco rounds is just sacrilege in these situations.
100%, and they convert multiple rifles over to the enemy team, losing players in the same breath, and nobody in position to trade, as you said, and you just can't play like that against ATK. You have to buddy up hard, and slowly gonna open things up now with an AWP kill, and so he's got the AWP, which is even gonna make things even harder for them. Good util usage at the top of the round here as well. It does set them up for even more kills, and slowly gets ADM before he gets taken down by a Daru. And they do go
Blaze.
3 versus 4, but
check
look
Blaze.
at Blaze, exactly that.
He's such
And he's
a
got the
beast,
bomb.
man. He just reads the game so well. He's using the audio cues. He's pushed up aggressively. He's playing off the back of that flash that came through from Zip. And as you say, dropped the bomb in the process. Goliath Gaming being withered away here. It's only Dweezil left, and they know exactly where he is. His options are limited right now. He has to try and fight his way out of this, but there's a crossfire that's been set up in middle. And you can bet your top dollar, ATK aren't going to be giving him an inch right now. He waits passively, and now he tries to peek, but he peeks into Fady's AK, which has been on point, by the way. Top of the server with 9 kills is Fady. And finally, Goliath blink. They call their tactical timeout.
I think it's really important timing for that. Going down 6-4 already to ATK is not the position that at all they want to be in. ATK's T side is even more vicious than what we've seen so far on their CT.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't bode well, right? When you look at the score right now.
My initial reaction is Maraish.
Maraish, I like it. You know, we're on a South African broadcast, so I think it's important that we add some South African colloquialisms to the cast as well, right? So I'm down for that. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so the thing is that I don't actually think Goliath Gaming have been doing anything wrong on this T side so far. I think that ATK have just been hitting some good shots. I would like to see Goliath Gaming just making sure that they don't get too far ahead of themselves. They just continue playing their passive default, sticking as a unit, playing these 4-1s, giving space to ADM to work as well on the opposite side of the map. And making sure that they don't lose any early picks that go untraded. That's the key right now.
That's about their biggest problem, is just that there's been nobody in position to do trades. Like Dweezil we saw mid, and then equally ADM jumping up on the box while the doors are completely open. No smoke in position to even help him there, and he gets caught out again. And there's literally 2 kills going for absolutely free to Blaze and Fady. So there to accept. And look at the short play, Doru. Just sack your money with the MP9.
And
Blaze chime in as well.
Yeah, just a small thing to note how nice that crossfire was set up. It's the MP9 that takes first contact. Of course, you always want the SMG to try and get as many kills as you can in your anti-eco rounds. But Doru's not there by himself. And I see teams doing that so often, is just posting one player on short by himself without any support. And he's like committed all the way playing below the stairs. In this case, though, Blaze is there to support him. And that's what actually enables Doru to stay alive and get all those kills. So nice attention to detail there. Good teamwork. The buddy up system pays dividends. And now we head into the all-important gun round. ATK with the chance to double up their score here on Goliath Gaming. Or are Goliath Gaming going to be answering back with the W of their own and starting to chip away at the economy? And look at Fady. I spoke about how he plays middle and what a great job he does. He does find a kill, nearly gets out of dodge, but he does get traded. And look at the decision here. Goliath Gaming want to try and exploit that gap that they created by taking down the mid player, but Miskins responded quickly. He's pushed down the ramp and got in the mix as well. And Doru has got through the upper dark tunnels, catches them off as well. And ATK really starting to feel themselves. I think Slowy just landed a shot completely through the smoke. Was 100%. That just straight up blind through the smoke, no holds barred? My God. I mean, what do you even do about that? Yeah.
He literally just did the lineup for the door and he hits Dweezil. I thought Dweezil will get a plant at minimum, but not going for the window entry was his mistake there, because Slowy, apparently, he knows that lineup like the back of his hand and just smacks him in the back of the legs.
Yeah. Jeez, this is looking like the primed, shiny, fantastic ATK we've all come to know and love. They're pitched up here. We've spoken about sometimes how they can be slow starters, Reese, but that's not the case here in the first snap of the grand final. Fady continues to do damage in middle. Not afraid to take these fights, backing himself in the Angels. And notice how he's got support from Doru as well. So, I mean, it's really important because it means even if he does go down, ATK still have control, right? But when Fady's pitched up and he's playing like this, Slowy's there with 10 kills as well. Doru's 12 for 4, the top of the scoreboard right now. And traditionally, he's not the player we see topping the charts for ATK. So when you just see everybody coming together like this and chipping in like they are, this ATK team becomes so scary. All right, 9-4. Goliath Gaming, they have to find some more rounds on this T side if they're going to be competitive, Reese. 4 rounds is not enough going into this up against the T side that ATK possess.
Definitely not, Matt. They need these last two at minimum. They are coming in here with a full buy. Dweezil's got the AWP once again. There's a split happening as well. I quite like 4-1 splits on the T side, honestly, especially if your one manages to stay alive until the ends of the round or until the post-plant situation, then he can actually get in quite a lot of damage. But Slowy, just so tentative to the possibility of there being a late push on Cat. He gets one, Doru gets another. He just goes even further over the top of the scoreboard. And Mr. Zip does get a nice one in mid to help things out, but Slowy's there once again. Just relentless pressure and relentless trading. But ADM and Dweezil now open up the B bomb site, and they get themselves a 2-on-2. This is about the best position they've been in a buy round on the post plant. They should be able to close this one out. B is an insanely hard bomb site to retake, and they don't have much util do ATK, and they're going to walk into the dead scope of Dweezil. He gets the first one blinded up, manages to take down Slowy, and now it's just Blaze in a 1-on-2. He's a very solid player, but Dweezil just too good on that round. And actually, like you say, he's having extremely good impact. 12 for 9, top of his scoreboard, and a nice 3k in the round.
I mean, and this is AWPing on the T side, right? And he's making moves. He's finding entries with the AWP for his team. He's not being like this passive AWPer who's sitting in T spawn for the whole round and maybe trying to find a pick here or there. He's getting a part of the mix. He's not afraid to get in and amongst the action with his AWP, and it's really great to witness. And he's got a nice spawn here as well. Looks like he's going to try and find the player towards B, and he does catch Slowy off guard. The AWPer of ATK was also trying to make a similar play there from his perspective, but he gets punished. This is a great opportunity for Goliath Gaming to make this a 9-6 halftime scoreline. Adara is going to be hearing the AWPer towards middle, so he knows the danger that lurks on the opposite side of the doors. He's going to try and peek across, and he actually catches a leg shot for his trouble. So Adara brought down to 6 health. Still alive and kicking, though. That's what really matters. And Goliath Gaming just taking their time right now. Posturing themselves across the map, recognizing they have a lot of time and space to work with. After finding that opening pick, you want to try and manipulate the defense of the CTs and then exploit the gaps you've created. And here's the thought process here from Goliath. They got a really early pick towards B, so they think ATK is going to be inclined to rotate an extra player from that middle or that A bomb side towards the B bomb side. So now they've grouped up in long. They're hoping maybe there's going to be only one player towards long and no support, and they're going to try and exploit that. But because Blaze drops that smoke, they know he's in the area, but he gets completely blinded up. He can't get on the corner in time. The flash has actually blinded up the entry players from Goliath, but Blaze can't get behind the corner in time, so he gets taken down, and Fady has to make a bit of a play here. He hits the first shot. Doru gets one as well. Does the wall of smoke come through? Because that might actually aid Fady's coming. Oh my god, completely blinded up. He takes down Zip. Dweezil at least finds one with his AWP, but there's only 20 seconds left here. Goliath Gaming, they have to get onto the pump side. Mistim's still playing the angle. You got Fady in the smoke. They're going to try the run boost here, but Mistim's going to have spotted them out. And Fady's still waiting for his opportunity, and the smoke's going to peek out. He takes down Dweezil. It's just elusive. Lefty finds the kill. He has got the bomb, but is he going to commit to the plant? That's the question. It seems like he will. Mistim jumping up. He's going to deny the plant and win the round for his team. 10-5. ATK take a formidable halftime scoreline into their T side.
Wow. Just super wow. They burnt Goliath's util low, so there wasn't a double smoke for the cross. The one smoke that they did have wasn't set up very well. Fady hides in it. They go from being in a 3v5 situation to a 2-on-2 and then clutch it out in that manner. Is there any beating ATK? Like, they just they can find potential where just others can't right now, and it's showing on the scoreboard. Goliath Gaming need to win this pistol round to put themselves back in contention of this map. This T side, especially with a buy, is terrifying from ATK.
Bad smoke.
There is a bad smoke, and another bad smoke actually leaves a huge gap there.
Oh my god.
And it's going to start costing them as Adara and Dweezil both start hitting shots, and there's an absolute firing squad here from the CTs, but they're not watching short, and this gives an opening for Slowy to get a pick, and it gives them confidence and zeal to push onto the side, but Blaze gets taken down. It's just Mistim and Slowy. They'll take the bomb plant for the cash, but it should be closed out here by GG. They should be going 6-10, but Slowy making things just that much more painful for them. Mistim's actually got quite a lot of HP, but Elusive's going to put him down and restore some normality here. They did manage to get the plant with their position, and their fluffed util actually is a bit of a win, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, you have to ask the question how different that round would have been if the util wasn't missed like that. That was just so bad from ATK. Both of the smokes were off the mark by quite a large margin. So that's a big let off. And there was a firing squad in CT watching the cross, and they completely punished ATK to Goliath Gaming. So a perfect start to the half for Goliath, exactly what they needed. They pick up the pistol round, but ATK not letting their foot off the gas just yet, Reese. They've picked up 4 rifles in the round. Desert Eagle as well. Don't have much util, but they're just trying to go for the firepower here. And they're just lurking their way up. Cat, are they going to be committing to the A hit here up short, or are they going to be trying to mid to B split this? Seems like all 5 players are going to just be bursting up short onto this A site. And Dweezil Password trying to spot up, but he drops a nuclear grenade on them before they start making their way forward. Dweezil might be in some trouble here as the flashbang comes through. Adara's already lost his life to the Desert Eagle, let alone the rifles that are still in the mix here. But a lot of damage has been done to these ATK players who have finally taken control of the bomb site. But this is still a precarious position that Goliath Gaming find themselves in. They have to make a retake happen, and you can see they're going to try and make it through short here once again. All 3 players grouping up towards Xbox, but ATK, they're also putting numbers towards short right now. So this retake lives and dies with how this fight goes towards short. There's 3 players here for ATK and also 2 players towards Gandalf. So they're all in the vicinity to take this fight. Do Goliath Gaming win these early gun duels? The flashbang comes through, but Blaze's able to finish top some mouse, but one Fady gets a kill as well, and there's a bloodbath towards short, and all the blood is spilled by the CTs. It's just Zip left, and he stands no chance of winning this round either. Oh man, that's a really big round for ATK to win.
Yeah, and even when it looks like Goliath might be in with a chance, ATK just closes things down really quickly. That grenade was absolutely massive, but the rotations and the re-peaks and stuff were just a little bit over the top. They needed to play just a touch more passive. You can't re-peak into ATK, especially when they have rifles in hand. And once that information came through, they needed to just be that little bit more passive. But ATK extend their lead 11-6. The kitchen for GG is getting very hot, and they're forced into a deco here, and they're going to need to get a double AWP, so they should be facing a 13-6 before they get their preferential setup online.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, such an important eco or force gun round here, as you say, because if this goes awry for Goliath Gaming, it just puts them so far behind the game. But ADM trying to deny that from happening, but just misses too many shots, and that means he gets called out. And things going from bad to worse right now for Goliath, and this ATK team is just looking on point. You can see they have their eyes on the prize, bar their pretty bad util usage. They need to get those cross smokes down. I mean, you think a team who have individuals at this caliber wouldn't be missing those smokes still, but that's okay. They have the firepower to sort of bridge the gap. Goliath Gaming have no choice but to try and save these forced up weapons and take them into the next round.
What a horrible position for them to be in. I mean, look at Blaze, for instance. He's got 2,700 in the bank. Full util complement still. Armor complete. He's got a Galil. He can drop that, upgrade. Slowly can still buy out. Like, they're just really, really solid, our ATK, at finding value and just bringing that across the line. And this is going to be to the tune of 12-6. It should be a full save next round, which means that they're going to have to buy whatever money that they have when they hit the 14-6 period, because you don't want to leave it on that last round like DNMK were forced to against them. And as soon as you trip, you fall from a very dizzy height.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're going to have to wait one more round before they can try and get those rifles on the table. They have got one on Zip, but outside of that, not much to work with in this round. And they're just going to be grouping all 5 players up towards long. I really like this decision from Goliath Gaming. Just try and hedge your bets, give yourselves every opportunity to win the round. Doru completely blinded up here. He's going to get taken down. And my word, it's actually worked out perfectly for Goliath. The pistols reign supreme. I'm not ever a fan of seeing teams take such aggressive long control in their anti-ecos. And ATK, you need to realize that the B bomb site's completely open. They got one smoke for the cross, and so he's seen all the numbers in the world right now just before the smoke blooms. So ATK have at least been able to secure themselves a plant at the bare minimum and a 2v5 to try and win the post plant. But how on earth can they do that? Goliath Gaming have salvaged all the rifles. They got 4 rifles. There's armor on a couple of players as well. There should be no way that Goliath Gaming lose this round. And in fact, they're going to be sending numbers up through tunnels right now. Slowly, as soon as he peeks, he's going to be seeing how many players then. He actually decides to try and take the fight. Missed him, left in what should be an absolutely unwinnable situation. And what? Goliath Gaming, they win the round, Reese. They don't even lose a single player in their eco. What did we just witness?
We witnessed exactly what they needed to do at the time they needed to do it. And this could be a bit of a comeback coming out here from Goliath Gaming. ATK need to be careful and not let this slip away from themselves. They need to win this bye, because it's going to then put GG on the back foot once again. They did get quite a lot of economic relief by picking up those rifles, as we can see now. Even Zip over 5k as we go here into round number 20. But they need to be a little bit careful to ATK that they don't let that get away from them and throw their lives away, which they are looking to do as they take a short push very aggressively.
Oh, no ways. Oh my god, bro.
Decimate them. Oh my word, ADM is on side with an AWP. He needs to do a lot here to make sure that this round doesn't slip away from them. Mistim gets taken down by ADM, which is
and Fady's done it.
To be preferential, but Fady, he hits 2 headshots out of nowhere. He comes up long, hides himself behind the car, puts himself in a fantastic position, and while the attention is split, GG players go down. Now it's just elusive in a 1-on-3. He has one from here before. There are 2 lowered HP players. Slowly's 1 and done, Blazers 2 and done. But Fady, the man of the moment right now, he's still full HP. He's got a really good post-plant position in towards long. I don't think Elusive is going to be able to do this, all things considered. Look at these positions, slowly holding that angle. Oh, he gets tapped. There is a man towards Goose that he needs to be careful of. He thinks he's on T ramp right now. He knows that there's going to be one towards long for sure. And he's going to his detriment. But Blaze is there and he gets it.
Oh man, really good decision making there from Blaze in the 1v1 to not just sit in the corner and wait. He sort of just pushes himself onto the off angle, and you could see it caught Elusive completely off guard there. But I just want to talk about that aggression from ATK, pushing through the molly, pushing through the util. Reese, I have one question. Did these guys smoke a light bulb before they played this game? Because they're absolutely cracked right now.
It's an apt question, Matt. And
I mean, these guys are crazy. What? It's just like no fear in the world, charging through the fire and the flames. And Fady, he capitalizes on all the chaos. He reads the game so perfectly. The way he lurks up long like that. He had the trigger discipline as well, and the 2 kills that he finds solidifies the round for his team. Goliath Gaming, they've gone up for another buy in this round, and they've got rifles across the board, courtesy of AD finding that kill, and Zip will find one as well. So they just keep doing the work to ensure that they keep themselves in the hunt here. And Dweezil finds a really important frag towards shorts as well. His job's done though. Now he needs to back off, because if he goes down from here, there's still every chance that ATK can make this happen. As Fady's lurked up long once again, he might actually catch Dweezil off on the rotation. Zip has the action, the job to do from CT, but thankfully Dweezil finds Doru, and that should be securing the round.
Except that they're continuously taking solo peeks against Fady, who's literally in the middle of nowhere, just battling it out. His aim has been on point so far, top of the scoreboard for his team. And he's got a job to do here, 1v3. It should be near impossible, but Elusive is going to miss and give him some favor, and he hits Dweezil through the smoke. If he clutches this out, this is going to be absolutely heartbreaking for GG. Like they were so far ahead in this round. And now it's just Zip in a 1-on-1 with the man Fady. He's just been too good, but he hits the shot. Stewie 2K styles, if you like.
Oh, that was such an important clutch for Zip to win. How on earth did Fady nearly turn that into a round win for ATK? As I say, just reading the chat, it's so funny. Oh god, okay. Goliath Gaming, as I say, they just keep on keeping themselves in the hunt by like the skin of their teeth. They keep on winning every must-round win, but they need to start stringing some together here and actually, you know, reaching double digits or getting a bit closer than that before ATK win another round of their own. Seems like ATK, they're going to fall straight back into this. They want to try and continue to applying as much pressure as they possibly can on this Goliath Gaming team. Damn, what an awesome map we've had just so far. I mean, 13-8, yes, but there's been some fantastic Counter-Strike from both of these teams. Lights out, one might say.
It's cracked.
So let's see what ATK can do in this force fight. 3 FAMASs for Goliath Gaming to try and deal with it, so not the most apt weaponry at their disposal. And Fady's gotten out long once again. But this is a 2-3 split across the map right now, and Fady, he catches the shot on Elusive. He sort of just tried to cross his way into pit. Maybe didn't expect anybody to be there, but that's a big kill, because it changes the complete setup of the CTs right now. There's only one player towards the B bomb site, and I think this is a bit more of a fake. They're just going to continue to force the issue. Mistim's been tasked with actually just trying to sell the fake as he pushes on by himself, and Fady's double back, but now back that as he gets taken down, ATK are going to be looking to try and secure this B bomb site control. ADM, the first responder, does get in position, but the smoke's going to be denying him any further vision. He wants to continue to try and force the issue here, though, but he just can't connect on the shots to find the frag. The rotations have come through thick and fast from Goliath, but they won't be able to deny the bomb plant. And they only have a smoke between them. ADM, who's somehow able to survive the HE grenade. 7 points of health left for him to work with, and he's the man carrying the smoke right now. There is a kit on Zip Zip as well, so every chance for them to make this retake happen, but those chances have been reduced now as ADM goes down. It's just Dweezil and Zip Zip left in this 2 versus 3 in this all-important round. Dweezil just charges through the doors. Blaze is left alone, but still win the clutch. The 1 versus 2, the headshots work perfectly. And again, Zip Zip comes clutch for the team. He's been having an amazing weekend of Counter-Strike. And again, he wins that all-important round.
My word, this is too close for GG, and ATK are making it expensive. They probably should do a save at this point, though, so that they can have the superior setup for the next round. Some deco action actually works for them as well. They've been able to find quite a lot of it, or a lot on it, in this map so far. GG just given a small breather once again. They should find the 10th round.
I'm happy with the eco round here. Let's just slow down the action, lads. Nothing being slowed down here from ATK. They're just charging up short. These upgraded pistols have gotten quite far forward. They find a Dara, but the flash is perfect. Dweezil with the great support flash comes through, but there's still a quick flurry of frags for ATK. They pick up at least 2 kills, so it just keeps the economy in check here for Goliath Gaming. But Goliath Gaming have reached double digits, Reese. That's a really important little mental check for them. Important mental check, rather. Still a lot of work to do, though. A lot of work. Guys, welcome, everybody. This is the grand final of the Evesports EGL One 2020 main event. Let's get as many people watching this as we possibly can. Share the link with your friends. Get your grandmother on here as well. Even she'll be enjoying this Counter-Strike. It's so fantastic. And Fady, he's going to get caught off guard. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get across in time. The util usage was on point. And it's a 4 versus 5. Nice opening kill for Goliath. And look at this, ATK just want to put pedal to the metal right now. Great flashbang yields. ADM completely blind. And this is primed the B bomb site for the taking right now. There's smoke of CT. There's no immediate support that's going to be coming through either. Big job for Adara to try and get done here. They've spotted him out as well in the corner. Snowy's been able to get 2 many kills somehow. Coming up short, he catches them in transition. Adara goes down as well. And the all-important round is going the way of ATK. Once again, it's just, they've got a knack for winning these rounds, Reese. Every time it's the team they're playing against is starting to sort of get back into the equation and starting to sort of get themselves back into the game. ATK just put more distance between them.
I just saw something so telling of ATK's gameplay there with how slow he executed that there. I was actually on his player perspective as I was watching him come up, and I was like, hold on, what's happening over here? And as soon as that smoke comes down, he knows that the GG players are going to be spamming there. So their attention for short is going to be cut thin. He waits for the spam to come through. As soon as it goes to the reload time, he peeks, and there's 2 players left with nothing in the barrel.
Yeah, that's I'm glad you actually watched that and got to explain it to us like that, because he made such a big play there. He pretty much won the round for his team before his team even had secured full control of the site. So awesome individual play there from him. He's also one of those individuals who just reads the game so well, and he knows when to make plays. Sometimes he gets overly aggressive and it costs him and his team, but it works out more often than not. And when you have a player like Slowy on the team, you don't want to be telling him to, like, you know, maybe be a bit more passive, maybe be a bit more defensive, maybe don't make as many plays, because then you're taking away from the reason you have somebody like Slowy in your team. You want to give him that extra room on the leash to run wild and make individual plays. And look at how it works out. He's 23 and 19 right now. Fady 24 and 16. They've got 47 kills between the 2 of them, Reese. That's a lot of fragging power.
That's more than 2. Well, it's basically 2 around, or 1 around from each of them at this point, nearly. The ADR tells the same story, 98 and 100. They've got fantastic effective flash counts. Everything is looking really good on their scoreboards. So
15-10.
Doing a lot here. And look at this mid push into this force bar that they've been put into, but Elusive
Oh,
is
beautiful.
countering them now, and he's done a fantastic read. They get onto B here,
Oh,
but at
no.
what cost? It's only Slowy left in a 1v3. He doesn't get the first 2 kills. He's going to get a bomb plant, hopefully, for this team at minimum, but GG just going to make it that much more difficult. Fire raining in through the windows now. And he's been completely encircled by CTs. He's got to be careful walking out here because Dweezil's waiting on the off angle. He's going to walk right into his scope. But
Oh.
Dweezil misses the shot. He fakes
Oh
it
my
out.
god.
And this could be a very sticky 1v1 situation. Adaru and Zip now pushing up. Dweezil plays it to perfection, though.
Yeah,
And
very well played. I mean, if Dweezil goes down there, there's every chance in the world that Slowy wins that 1 versus 5. But Dweezil with the patience there, and he connects on that all-important shot as well. 15-11. Goliath Gaming keeping themselves alive, but only just. They have to win another 4 consecutive rounds now to take us to overtime here on the opening map of the grand final. Or are ATK going to be closing it out right here, right now? They've got the weapons to work with. AWP in hand for Slowy. AKs across the board. Util as well. And again, they're just going to go for this aggressive play, using their numbers to their advantage, charging out along. This time, Blaze wins the fight against Zip, who's without any support. We've seen Goliath putting a lot of emphasis on their early long takes, but ATK haven't really been putting many players there themselves, so maybe Goliath trying to make a bit of a read and just send one player there by himself, but this time it works out against them. And Dweezil has the AWP. He's the key player in the round right now towards short for his team, maintaining the control, which allows them to just sort of focus their resources towards long. But ATK with so much time, look at Mistim. Look at Mistim. He's lurked onto the B bomb side. He's taken full control. They've sold the fake. The long control has forced Goliath to readjust their setup. Elusive has shifted to middle. And there's no information whatsoever right now. The gamble is not paying off for Goliath. And within 10 to 15 seconds, ATK are going to have swarmed this B bomb side. Mistim drops the smoke in the molly. So this is going to be giving the position control away right now. Finally, the jig's up and Goliath Gaming recognize they've over-rotated. Not really anybody's fault, though. They had to try and make a gamble, I suppose, considering the control ATK had. But Mistim with the lurk has afforded his team this opportunity to close the game out here in the 27th. Unless Goliath Gaming can make the retake happen, a smoke or rather a flash and a molly in the hands of Deep Dweezil. But outside of that, no further util. They've got the kits, they've got the weapons, but no one coming from upper dark means that this is going to be a fairly one-dimensional retake right now. And there's already a lurk from Blaze coming from behind, and they start to push the way. There's only behind one, but the rest of the frags go the way of ATK, and they close out the first map 16-11. They go up 1-0 here in the grand final, and they take the map that Goliath so desperately needed to win to be competitive in this series. What a fantastic first map to kick proceedings off today.
Absolutely mad bit of CS there from ATK. Fady almost winning that, 1v4 as well, taking them right down to the wire. It's just so hectic, actually, right now from ATK. They are playing ridiculously good CS, and it's across the board. Every player doing what they need to do. Really nice one-man rotations and one-man flanks and stuff that they've been setting up so far. It's rough, and like you say, they're winning a lot of this on the fact that they're winning the information game, and they're playing that so well right now. GG going into Overpass. Sure, they've got a lot of ground to make up. It might say 16-11, but it felt a lot heavier than that.
Yeah, I agree with you. It felt like ATK were in control for the entirety of that map. They were almost always destined to win it as well. The one thing I will say is like Goliath Gaming did fight hard to keep themselves constantly in the mix. Every time they had to win a round, they did. But they just couldn't find that consistency to string enough rounds together to put ATK on the back foot. Just felt like ATK were always comfortable. They were always happy with the situation they found themselves in. They always had enough money to sort of muster up a decent force buy, which they won a couple of rounds off of. But when you consider the amount of time this Goliath Gaming team has had to work with, I actually think that's a decent performance. I'll even go as far as to say, like, that's a more convincing performance we saw of this Goliath Gaming team than we saw of the previous Goliath Gaming roster. When you consider this team's only been together for 2 months, hey, that's saying quite a lot, right? Although early days, still only one map into this best of 5. Lots more work to be done here. And a lot more exciting action coming our way. But before we take a short break here, let us announce the first giveaway of the afternoon. Reese, what are we going to be doing? Is it the Steam voucher or the backpack?
We're going to be doing the Steam voucher. And
there we go.
At the request of our illustrious admin, one Mr. Josh Nobody, we are going to change the keyword today. And it's not going to be EGL One. Everybody that wants to enter the competition, please enter Yoba in the chat. We're going to give you what you asked for. We're going to meme it today. And we're going to Yorba in the chat. If you guys subscribe to the channel, you'll get a second entry. Do not type Yorba twice because then you'll take yourself out. If you type it a third time, you'll go back in. Just do it one time. Yorba in the chat. Mr. Nobody will give you an example thereof and jump on in.
And it's not case sensitive, by the way, and the giveaway is also only open to South African residents, so keep that in mind, guys. And there we go. First map done and dusted. ATK, pick it up 16-11. Yes, I said done and dusted because it was dust too. We're going to be going to Overpass next to see where the ATK are going to be going ahead 2-0 in the series, or are Goliath going to be able to fight their way back and draw level as we go into the third, which will be Inferno, a map that Goliath certainly do have some potential of getting across the line on. Overpass is going to be a challenge. We're going to be taking a short break now, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be gone for about 5 minutes, and when we return, we will have the second map of this best of 5 series. As I said, it's going to be Overpass. It's not going to be one to miss, so make sure you join us. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Evesports EGL 2020 main event grand final. We have a game between Goliath Gaming and ATK. We just finished off the first map on Dust 2 where ATK claimed victory 16-11. Not without a decent fight from Goliath Gaming, but ATK were always just like one step ahead of Goliath, so they were destined to win the map. As I say though, Goliath Gaming did fight quite hard. We saw some solid individual performances, in particular from Dweezil and Zip Zip, but they're going to have to up their games to the next level if they're going to be competitive here as we shift into the next map, Overpass. Historically, traditionally, a map that ATK have been an absolute monster on as a unit, and this is going to be a very tough ask for Goliath Gaming to be competitive. Reese, what are your thoughts after that first map?
Wow. From ATK, all things considered, even when it looked like they were significantly behind and it should be easy closures for them, that's never going to be the case with ATK. It seems it just was absolutely lights out performance from them all across the board, really. But the two standouts at the top of the board, where we are quite used to seeing them, was Fady and Slowy. And
no surprises.
Like we were saying in the break, Slowy had 8 2K rounds in that map, which is monumental. And if that wasn't good enough for you, sort of Fady goes with 4 and then 3Ks as well, and one of those he was down 1v4 and nearly clutched out the round. Like, they're just monstrous, our ATK right now. And a little on the off of things, all things considered, on the other side, on GG's side, actually just a little bit of a slower start from Daru, not what we saw from him yesterday against DNMK. And in a lot of swathes, I think some of the better plays and stuff we saw from GG yesterday weren't really brought onto the platform, and now that opportunity is unfortunately lost to them. They go down 16-11 for that map, and with Overpass ahead, it's very favored for ATK, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is favored for ATK coming into this map. As I did say, historically, Elusive's been a very good IGL on a map like Overpass, and I'll talk a little bit more about that just now. But yeah, all the odds, all the history, all the signs, all the information we have say that this should be ATK's map to lose and go ahead 2-0 in this best of 5 series. We do go into Inferno, which is our third map, which is still a good playground for Goliath to be competitive on. But as you mentioned, Dust 2 was imperative for Goliath if they were going to sort of stand a chance of winning the series or pushing it the distance to that 5th and final map. We'll have to find out how these games are going to be playing. Guys, remember, we have got a giveaway being run at the moment for a 250 Rand Steam voucher. The keyword is YOBA, Y-O-B-A. It is not case sensitive. To enter yourself in the giveaway, type the word in chat. Make sure you don't type it more than once, otherwise you'll be discounted from the entries. Also, if you subscribe to the channel, you get a second entry courtesy of Evesports. So, let's kick into the pistol round here on Overpass. ATK, they find themselves on the CT side. Goliath Gaming on the T side. That's quite... Oh, it's actually the names are switched. Never mind. ATK on the T side. I was wondering why Goliath had chosen to start on the T side, but that's not the case. And look at this aggression from ATK. They're just charging their way forward right now and taking full control. Slowy, he finds the opening pick. No fear right now in this Goliath Gaming pistol round. My word. Just rushing themselves onto the save bomb side, finding the frags necessary. And we might even see another flawless pistol round here from ATK. Man, I see it's right on the stream, but for my HUD, it's completely switched right now, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But ADM, he hasn't got anything switched right now. USP, nice clean tap from him, but that's all it's going to be in the round.
Yeah, that is a bit odd, eh? I don't know what the server's doing to us, but they do clean up quite an easy pistol round, but all indications, and Slowly just going absolutely tilt on that one, gets himself a 2K to open things up onto the side. He just pushes Dweezil and Zip down, and they managed to secure it. And then from there, it was pretty easy looking cleanup, all things considered. So they start off with the banger, and they're looking to continue that with a double AK buy going into round number 2.
Yeah, that's a great start for ATK, Reese. I mean, when you consider the momentum they're bringing off the back of Dust 2, that pistol round is, again, it's an assertion of dominance. It's them just stating that they have no fear, and they want to try and overhaul and overpower their opponents. And that pistol round is a bit of a statement. So Let's see what sort of a T side we're going to be seeing out of Goliath. We might see that same sort of T side where they like to just shift around the map as a unit. Normally, the T side of Overpass doesn't really lend itself to teams being super aggressive on the T side because it's such a big map to play around. There's not really any obvious path to rush besides obviously through Monster, which is a very difficult rush to make work. But we might still see ATK just try and use that methodology of approach here to just continue to put pressure on Goliath Gaming, and we are seeing an aggressive first gun round coming out of ATK. They're just charging into this B bomb site right now. Doru doesn't check the monster corner. That means Elusive's able to get 2 before he goes down. But Doru does answer back with the frag onto Zip, so it's a 2 versus 2 as the bomb site has been secured by the T side. Not without a quick response though. Already a push coming through from Monster by ADM. He should be catching them completely off guard here. Bomb plant kind of come through in time. The cover of the smoke does aid Slowy's cause. Oh no, ADM tapping away. Only lands the 1 headshot onto Doru, so he still is alive and able to have an impact. They also know where Dweezil is. But Slowy working his way forward. He gets the kill, but it's ADM left in the clutch. He knows that Doru is perilously low right now, and Doru tries to reposition himself and ends up being taken down, and ADM secures that all-important round for his team.
Oh, that was fast, and it was a flurry, and a lot of things happened there. And honestly, ADM getting a little bit unlucky with those headshots, going for the double tap there. Only one connecting. It looked really on from my perspective. I think he got slightly CSGO'd, but he still manages to pull it out, even though he gets taken low. I think Doru maybe should have stayed his hand there. He had
Agreed.
some position on him, and there wasn't any real reason to take the fight, especially with the damage that had been done by Slowy already onto ADM. But they do manage to close it out, do GG. And they get their first on the board, and nice and early. It's not after a slew of rounds from ATK, but that's not going to matter too much for this round as far as the buys go.
Oh man, Doru catches off ADM. It was just trying to helplessly clear out lowers. And that's a really big early kill for ATK. And look at the gun round that Goliath Gaming have got to work with. It's very awkward right now, considering even though they won the previous round, they didn't really have much money to invest into this one. Elusive going to be proactive in the defense. He takes the fight towards long, and he's actually able to double down onto Blaze as well. He sees the util coming through from Mistim, so they know there has to be another player. He finds the frag on Mistim as well. What was a 3 versus 5 has now become a 3 versus 2 in favor of Goliath Gaming, courtesy of those kills from the EGL. He still has a job to do, and he does that job to absolute perfection. He finds Fady as well. He eventually does get taken down, and it's Doru left in the clutch against a Daro. And he has spotted him out. There's so much time left on the clock here. Plenty of options available for Doru. What does he decide to do? What sort of a read does a Daro make? My god, what a big individual play there from Elusive to keep his round in the team. It looked like Goliath was set and done to win it, but Elusive picks up the quad kill, and it was all individual fights to get him in that position as well. And Adaro holds his nerve. He sticks on the safe bomb side as he just holds the angle, not going to be doubting himself. And Doru is starting to take control, and he gives the position away. He's going to just commit to the planter. This is easy for Adaro as he comes around the corner, and he takes down Doru with the C4 in his hand. What a massive round for ATK, or rather for Goliath Gaming to win. They had no right in winning that.
Absolutely. Elusive. This is clearly his house. And he's clearly upset that there's people coming into mess in his house, and these are unwelcome guests, or ATK, and he shuts that round down in emphatic fashion. Yeah. Even the third one, I sort of didn't see it coming. I was like, oh, he's sort of starting to miss the spray, and just corrects right into those headshots and manages to get that 4K, almost netting himself the ace, which would have been, I think, cool to see and a massive mental boost. But regardless, they win the round, and because of that, they win the early sort of economic battle and push ATK into a deco.
Yeah. That's it. A couple upgraded pistols here for ATK to work with, and they're going to try and assert a bit of dominance towards lowers. Unfortunately, that molly had segregated the players. It meant that Slowy didn't have any teammates to trade him out there, even though he did a bit of decent damage to ADM. That's all it's going to be, as ADM's able to get out of dodge. Dweezil still hanging around here, needs to be careful. He's got no support, and Doru with the Desert Eagle up close might be leading to his demise. Not the case. Dweezil actually doubles up as he takes down Fady as well. And it's a fairly clean round here from Goliath Gaming. And Blaze finds the second frag. Should be all he's got in the round, though. Tapping away. Eventually, he'll be taken down by Elusive. So, Goliath Gaming go up 3-2 in this Overpass map. Of course, the second map of the series in the best of 5. We just came off the back of Dust 2. where ATK won 16-11. It was a fairly comfortable victory, even though the scoreline suggests it was relatively close. Goliath Gaming were always just 4 or 5 rounds ahead, so... rather, ATK were just 4 or 5 rounds ahead. I'm really being messed up by this HUD right now, Reese. I don't know about you. It's making my life very difficult.
I don't know if you've noticed, I've had a couple extra long pauses, so I feel you 100%. But look at this push up long. It's just massive aggression, and it's going to go badly. Missed him just too quick. Dweezil gets one, but he gets traded out. And a second one going down, Mr. ADM, who's one of their impact players, but a nice retrade in towards the water area of B from Zip. He gets one, and it sort of resets things back to a 3-on-3. You've got to favor the T's somewhat, though, because they can just group up and push, and the CTs are now split across the map. And Elusive in the bathrooms area could be the linchpin that pulls them ahead, and he is going to be. He gets it up to a 3 versus 2. Blaze is going to look to get aggressive, and it's going to be to his detriment. Elusive playing the timing super well. There is one play towards long. Elusive's going to take the fight, and he's going to get really good damage onto Mr. He's on a 3k for the round, though, and he's got an AK in hand, so still some possibility of him closing this out if there's some overextensions here from GG, but it looks like both players in position towards bomb sites, so it's going to make any movements now from Mr. very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, this is just such a nice fight back in the round from Goliath Gaming. Elusive with a big double kill there to again bring his team back into even contention. When you saw that early double kill going the way of Mistim and it earned that one-man advantage for ATK, it felt like they were going to be running away with the round from there. But again, Elusive finds the multi-kill necessary to keep his team in the hunt. Mistim makes his way through monsters, so he's actually going to be avoiding Zip, who's spotting from heaven right now. So he should actually be able to get a bomb plant at the bare minimum, which wouldn't be a bad result, all things considered. But he's going to be planting in the open, so as soon as Zip swings out here, he should lose his life. Oh my god, there's no more time. No more time for Mistim to secure the plant, so he's going to be losing the round. But nice shot to take down Zip at the bare minimum. A quad kill in the round for the IGL of ATK still isn't enough for them to win the round.
This is kind of like IGL versus IGL right now, though. Have you noticed that? It's sort of both of them, like, doing all of the killing.
Elusive on Overpass is a serious force to be reckoned with. He's one of the smarter individuals in South African Counter-Strike, and Overpass really lends itself to the people who play clever games because it's where you position yourself, how you take the fight you choose to take, and the fight right now is towards Monster. Goliath Gaming battling through the molly. These players are blinded right now. Eventually Adara is going to get taken down, but a lot of damage has been done in the process, and there we go. Zip finishes off one of the players. Elusive's in position now to have an impact as well, but he falls prey to Mistim's AK, but still there are numbers on the bomb site, but the trade frags just keep on going back and forth right now between both of these teams. ATK, of course, wouldn't realize it, but there's nobody on the A bomb site right now. They should be able to find a plant. Slowly finds ADM, who tries to push forward ahead of the molly, and now they realize, guys, if ADM, who's pushed through short, is all the way on this side of the map, there's a good chance that the A bomb site's open. Oh my god, but of course, I didn't even see the bomb had been planted, which was the case, and Fady lands the headshot. What a chaotic round that was.
Yeah, and Fady even hits a shot on a CT through his teammate's leg. He manages to get the headshot through the leg.
One way or another.
It worked. It worked. It only did 14 damage to the teammates, and it completely took the CT out of the round, and they do turn it for themselves. Going up, well, actually, they're behind, because of the scoreboard thing. They're still behind 4-3. So while GG are on a save, it's not the end of the world. To be level pegging here on Overpass, which with big brain plays can be more of an attacking map. But so far, the setups from GG have been pretty damn good, and they are going to be pushing on to B once again. All the T's missed him, opening things up. He gets one. He gets the second one behind the site as well. And there's one towards Connect, who's Fady with a 6 spray down. They get all 5 players through the round.
Yeah, I mean, the big hitters are starting to pitch up here for ATK. You got 10 frags on Slowy, you got 7 frags on Fady, 7 for 4 right now. You got 10 for 4 on Mistim as well. Elusive also with 10 kills, ADM with 6, but outside of those two, they sort of, everyone's had a bit of a slow start on the CT side for Goliath Gaming. And their money has diminished, Reese. They don't have enough to invest into the gun round this time. So it's going to be another eco for them. And ATK just approaching this one with a little bit more of a passive mentality. We know that this team is not afraid to get in their faces when they're feeling it, when they've got the confidence and the momentum. Doesn't matter what round their opposition are playing, an eco, a force, a gun round, CT side, T side, doesn't matter what map. This team loves to get in the faces of their opponents. They've just got that knack, that play style where they want to assert themselves on the game. They want to assert themselves over their opposition. And they love to try like break their opponents mentally. It's a really big feature of this ATK team, in particular on the T side. If they can continue with that aggressive mentality and that aggressive approach for the whole half, and their opponents don't have an answer, that's exactly what they're going to do. But if you can shut down that aggressive playstyle, then you force ATK to start re-exploring the depths of their playbook. And they have to go into a bit more passive approach, and they have to play a little bit more structured game. And that's sort of the first objective you need to check off the list when you're playing against ATK on the CT side. You need to shut down that aggression. And then you start to explore and deal with what comes thereafter. So, guys, remember, we do have a giveaway running at the moment. And it's for a 250 Rand Steam voucher that's only open to South African residents. If you've entered the giveaway already, don't enter again. It's still the same giveaway. But for anybody who hasn't entered, the keyword is Yoba. YOBA. Not cap sensitive, so have at it like you will. And if you subscribe to the channel, you gain a second entry as well. We're going to be announcing the winner of that giveaway sometime, probably towards the end of this map. So make sure you stick away for that. If you're announced as the winner and you're not here to claim your prize, we're going to be giving it to somebody else, and nobody wants to see that happen. Into the 10th round we go. It's a gun round, and I think we're going to be seeing another fast-paced one from ATK as they set themselves up with 4 players towards the speed bomb side. All the players leaning towards Monster as well. Yes, you got Mistim on the opposite side of the map, but he's just here to show some presence and deny the information. Make sure that the CTs aren't taking this control for free. And maybe wants to try and get a kill before the team activates over on the opposite side of the map. Himself and ADM are crossing, but Mistim will get caught in the back. And now that he goes down, his teammates have no choice but to start rushing their way onto the speed bomb side. 1-for-1 trade initially, and in fact, Goliath decided to push up short as slowly finds the all-important kill onto Adaro, and this has relinquished full control of the B bomb side. Because Goliath Gaming are looking to contest water and short, they don't have the numbers on the site. Quick flank from Elusive, but he's going to go down to Fady, who only has 9 points of health to live to tell the tale. Retake doable here for Goliath as ADM and Dweezil are left alone in this 2 versus 3. Dweezil with the AWP from heaven is trying to find something. He spotted Fady out, but he finds a bullet in his brain, and ADM has no choice but to save his rifle. ATK is starting to find their footing and their momentum now, Reese. This is a 4th consecutive round for them now on the T side.
Yeah, and it's been predominantly B pushes, right? Which is quite standard for Overpass, all things considered. I'd like to see a more passive A approach and just do a 2-man A. You know, they need to perhaps sit back and play from sight, maybe go up front early in the round, look for some information, and then withdraw at maximum. And just tighten up around B and make sure that they're in position to rotate in from heaven or from connector, wherever they would preferably like to come from. So they don't want to be too split. You really need to be in tradable positions versus ATK. The likelihood of them hitting that first shot is like, what, 95%, it feels like. So you've got to just be in that sort of position to have that trade. And it seems like they're going to stack B this round. They're going to have 4 over towards here. And ATK, though, have the read. They've already separated themselves and set up a bit more of a default to counter this, and they're just going to play passive against the eco and look for info, which is absolutely perfect.
Yes, I completely agree with you. Sometimes ATK get a bit ahead of themselves and they get overly aggressive, and it costs them in their anti-eco rounds. And you can see that Goliath have made the read. They've got 4 players on the B bomb site right now, waiting to receive that aggression from ATK, but ATK put the brakes on things, and it's exactly as you say what they needed to do in this round. And they get the lone player over towards the A site, and these players on B are going to be starting to hear the util and hear the footsteps. And they're starting to rotate across, but it may be too little too late. Of course, it is just the eco round for Goliath Gaming. But that next gun round, Reese, it's really important that Goliath Gaming start finding a couple rounds of their own, because if ATK just continue in this vein of form, they continue dominating the T side like this, they're going to be on the home stretch to close out this map and go up ahead 2-0 in this best of 5 final, where we will potentially be concluding it on Inferno. Of course, that's the 3rd map in the series. A map that historically Goliath Gaming have been decent on, but ATK have too, of course.
Just looking at the start from ATK, it's so stereotypical. I mean, even that kill from Mr. Monte Zip, stalking around here is Fady. He hasn't gotten any information. Mistim's like, I know exactly where he is. Flings the door open, sprays him down, and they just in it, eh? They're just so connected with the pace of this game and the pace of Goliath right now. And Goliath needs to do something perhaps either radical or completely off base, or be exceedingly passive and just try and delay more with util, not give up any early picks. But it seems like they're going to go the aggressive route, and it works out as ADM and Elusive get the first 2 kills on the board. Slowy does manage to trade, but now GG really needs to draw back into the sights and hold those objectives. They've got the main advantage. They can split 2-2.
Oh, Dweezil goes down to Slowy. That's such a big kill. Dweezil decides to scope in, and that gives Slowy the information there's still an AWPer on the angle. And that levels things back out 3 versus 3, a round which is so important for Goliath. Adara making a play here towards the short pipe. Will be catching players off guard. In the meantime, though, Fady has been able to work his way through Monster. The problem is he doesn't have the bomb on his back. He has to wait for Slowy to get in on the action here as well. As he's charging his way forward, Adara should be hearing the audio cues. Fady pushes his way up short. I don't think he was spotted there by Zipzip. He certainly saw Zipzip. He's going to be catching him with the backstab here. Big kill as Fady opts for the trigger discipline. I love this option right now. Getting himself as close as he possibly can. Takes him down. He knows Adara is there as well. And the double peek is perfect by ATK. That was beautifully weighted. Beautifully played by the 2 players. Fantastic communication between the 2 of them. Slowy not overplaying his hand. Fady getting on in the action as well. Creating the option for his teammate to get out alive. Slowy ends the round with the quad kill. And the round which looked primed and ready for Goliath Gaming to pick up another. ATK steal it from them once again.
These 2 guys together right now are just absolutely relentless.
28
Fady,
kills, Reese.
Through B, creeping up like that was sublime. I mean, it looked scripted almost.
And they have 28 kills between the 2 of them in 12 rounds, Reese. That's like 2.3 kills every single round between 2 players. It's a save round again, and Goliath Gaming, this time they have 3 players on the B bomb side. So ATK changing it up nicely here. Not being too predictable, not making themselves too readable. And they are just going from strength to strength right now on the C side. It was 4-2 at one stage in favor of Goliath, Reese. 4-2.
Look at that momentum, Matt. 6 rounds in a row.
About to be 7.
Their cash, everything is just flowing. Flowing really nicely for them right now. They've entered the flow state early. Look at that double peek towards short. What does poor Dweezil even do?
Yeah, this is a synchronized performance here from ATK. Looking phenomenal right now in this grand final. Remember, they've won every single big event they've taken a part of in this year, guys. This team is unstoppable, it would appear. We have the double AWP set up in play here. I'm not sure if we've actually seen the double AWP. Maybe correct me if we have, but I think this might be the first time we've seen it come out.
Definitely. And
that's
against
quite
the
a bit later
ATK Symphony.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be enough.
B again. Oh my god, they're just relentless, ruthless, whatever superlative you want to use to describe this team. Better check the dictionary because there's quite a few. As ATK are just dominating Goliath right now. Elusive at least able to get a kill before the bomb plant comes through. He spotted out Doru as well. And there we go. Dweezil gets in on the action with his AWP. Been a quiet player right now. Of course, most of the action's gone down towards B, so he hasn't really had a chance to get all that much done. But it's Doru left in the 1 versus 3. Clutch tapping away. Can't find the AWPer. And this is a round that Goliath Gaming have to get across the line on. And surely they will. When you just see the setup they have in play. Oh, the gun barrel's been spotted there. ADM on the angle. Elusive goes down as well, and Doru, he's somehow making this one work. He destroys ADM as well. It's just Dweezil left in the clutch. He's trying to make his way forward and catch Doru off guard. Doru certainly has to still be towards heaven, and Dweezil makes sure that he's going to find that shot. He catches Doru off guard completely. I love the way that Dweezil played that. He knew Doru thought he was going to be in heaven the whole time. He goes and joins his teammates on the lower side of the bomb site and secures that all-important round for the team.
But even then, look at their money. They have nothing to buy with into this last round. So there's going to be a hodgepodge of equipment and weaponry. And alternatively, on the other side, ATK can buy whatever they want 3 times over.
Yeah.
And it's already 9-5. And even with a 9-6, you know, I just don't know if it's going to be enough. The double AWP setup, they needed it quite a lot earlier, I think, to be more effective in this half. 9-6 will be not unwinnable, but against ATK and everything that they're doing right now, it feels insurmountable, Matt.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And ATK have got one of the better CT sides on Overpass in the country as well, so already 9 rounds for them is a fantastic start, but a fantastic start to the round goes the way of Goliath Gaming. They pick up a swift double kill again. They're just showing this innovation and this tendency to get aggressive towards Fountain in the early stages of the round, and it's worked out for them again as they shut the players down, making their way forward. So this is a clean round from Goliath Gaming as they find a bit of wind in their sails in the latter stages of this first half. In fact, it looks like it might be a flawless round as Fady's left by himself and he's walking into a crossfire. He's going to go down to Zip. So it's Goliath Gaming who pick up the last 2 rounds of the half and keep themselves alive here on Overpass. Still a big job to be done though as they shift into the second half. All right, as we roll into the second half, I think we should roll the giveaway for the 250 Rand Steam voucher and see who is going to be taking that home. Of course, you got the autumn sale going on at the moment. We've got a Christmas sale coming up as well. And there we go, Zane Insane, the lad who will be taking home the 250 Rand Steam voucher. Congratulations on that extra little giveaway win there. And taking it home. So, let's see. As we go into this first round, Goliath Gaming grouping up with all 5 players, but there's a stack here from ATK as well. They've got players situated in the right positions. Mistim lands 2 phenomenal headshots there to give his team the man advantage, and ATK want to continue taking the fight here. Fady and Blaze playing off of one another. Eventually, will take the more passive option, the more defensive option, and just back off to keep themselves alive and maintain this advantage. But again, just a lights-out pistol round here from ATK, just asserting their dominance, not afraid to get in the faces of their opposition, not afraid to take the fights against the Glocks.
Blaze could be coming up here with a very sneaky backstab maneuver. He could catch both of these players on the timing. Zip is low already. He just needs to headshot Dweezil, but he's going to miss. And they're going to... Hey, he doesn't miss the second time, though. Dweezil does get taken down.
No, Blaze.
Zip does get one, which is going to help out his cause. But with both Doru and Fady basically on full HP, Doru is just going to silence him with a one-tap.
Oh, man. Oh, that's such a big pistol round for ATK, Reese, because of Goliath Gaming win that. It's 9-7. They pick up the anti-eco, 9-8, and all of a sudden scores are nearly level and they can reset themselves mentally and climb back into the game. But just because ATK win that pistol round, it means there's now a 4-round gap between them, and it's going to be an eco, so that should be a 5-round gap momentarily. Let's get a look at the scores quickly and see the headshot percentage, as I see requested there by Nick, because Doru is he's certainly clicking heads stylishly right now. He has a 72% headshot ratio across his 11 kills, so that's pretty decent numbers, Reese. Pretty decent numbers indeed.
I think Fady actually, while it's lower, has a better number because it's 69%, man.
Yeah, over 13 kills, so yeah, probably pretty close to one another. As Goliath Gaming edge closer towards the say bomb site, they found a kill as well onto Mistim, but that's all that's going to be in the round, my word. A hail of bullets, an HE grenade in on the mix as well, and that's the round over. Slowy picks up a triple kill for his troubles. That's $1,800 in the bank as he gets the kills with the MP9. And means ATK draw within 5 rounds of closing this map out. Going to be a big gun round here for Goliath Gaming, Reese. AKs across the board. And they go up against 3 MP9s, a Famas and an AWP. So every opportunity for Goliath Gaming to win this gun round and begin their crusade here on the T side. Nice
to have the AWP on Slowy. I think in this round, the MP9s can play up close for the double dink. And the AKs, well, we know what they're all about. Goliath Gaming, actually decent util as well, which is going to help out a lot for taking these sites. And they've played quite a lot of util in the opening of this round. ADM gets one into Dory, but Blaze cleans him up.
Yeah.
The MP9 is going to bump him up to an AK though, which is less than ideal for sure. And once again, there was just nobody in position to do a trade off of him while he was taking contact. This just seems to be a little bit of a weak point of GG, and ATK are very good at finding weak points and exploiting them. And so far, they're doing a better job of things here. And GG
really like...
have to win this, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Big round for them. I couldn't agree more. I really like ATK's decision to get aggressive there through the short pipe as well. They recognize they've got a lack of weaponry in comparison to their counterparts, so they decide to try and make some sort of a play. The MP9s push in conjunction with one another, and they trade 1-for-1, which in most cases I'd say favors the T side, but I think ATK will be okay with that. They pushed around to the 35-second mark. They have relinquished full control of the B bomb site right now. They're going to be starting to realize that might be a bit of an oversight because they've got control of toilets. They've got a man who's pushed all the way through lowers, and now the rotations come through from Slow. He's actually gotten himself into the bomb site, but is he going to realize that 2 players have already crossed onto the B side? Dweezil might fall prey here unless the smoke covers him. No, the smoke's gone too deep. Slowy doesn't realize he's in and amongst the entirety of Goliath Gaming right now. He will find one pick before he goes down, and Fade's going to catch Adaru, who's just helplessly trying to smoke off Monster. Zipsup falls prey to Fady as well, and it's just Elusive left in the clutch, and he doesn't realize that he was being rounded on by Blaze. And Goliath Gaming get the bomb down in the 3v3, but they don't even find a single frag further in the post plant. So that is a big let off for ATK. And I mean, it's the fact that Slowy was able to stay alive for so long there, get all the information through to his teammates, allowed ATK to set themselves up around the fringes of the bomb site and make the retake a realistic prospect. My word, 12-6, the gun round goes awry, but there's just enough money to eke out another gun round here, courtesy of that plant. If they didn't get that extra $800, they're not buying up here. Now it's reaching do or die for Goliath Gaming, though.
They find themselves down 12-6, and this is all but ATK's map to close out here. They do have another force, but albeit with not much bang for the buck, and Adaru taking huge damage before even spotting Fady. He's got those lineups waxed. They don't have much util with which to push. They've only got a singular smoke over on Adaru. And against ATK, if you're going to be peeking dry, it just seems like a zero-sum game right now. Nice setup from them as well. They've got players in good position. Slowly opens things up just to make things even harder.
And Elusive takes a fight through the plywood, and he's way worse for wear than his counterpart. I think it was Fady who he was duking it out with. So this is not a good look. Oh my words, even more damage found onto Dweezil. I think he catches a leg shot there on HE grenade. Either way, such low health. I mean, between 3 players, they only muster, what, 77 health between 3 individuals, and Nadaro's been taken down. So things going from bad to worse right now for Goliath. They have been able to secure control of this B bomb site. As least ADM trying to force the issue here onto Doru, and he will find the kill, but he's lost his teammate on the opposite side of the map. He has to continue to make plays here, and unfortunately his crosshair placement was just off the mark as Fady was closer than he had anticipated.
Oy.
And that's the round over as Slowly lands a shot onto Elusive. And this is just Goliath, rather ATK on an absolute tear right now, Reese.
I'm throwing in some BM just to take them even further off the mental game. I quite like stuff like that, like how Muhammad Ali would beat his opponents before they even had gotten into the ring on the mental game. So
yeah,
we'll allow it. We'll allow it. And GG, while they get the plant, that does help them with this buy now, but ATK just 4 in a row, and stylish as you like. Only one round, the pistol round, they lose 3 players, which you're not going to be mad at. And all of their buy rounds, they've gotten through 3 or more, Matt.
Indeed they have. Quick 1-for-1 trade. Finally, something going Goliath Gaming's way as ADM sets them apart, but Fady right back there to get the numbers even once again. Zipsup, he gets completely blinded or missed him with some fancy footwork. Means he's actually able to get out of that alive with 22 health, but he hangs around longer than he should have. That's an ill-advised decision that he made, which is sort of allowed Goliath Gaming to even things out once again, and Zipsup goes one further. Big kill onto Fady, which leaves Doru in the 1 versus 2. The problem is that even though he's rotated across to A, which is the correct decision to make, because Goliath Gaming don't have the bomb on their back, they have to double back and secure the C4. So this has become a pretty tough clutch for Doru to make happen. Maybe he realizes as the time goes on and there's no further presence shown by Goliath that they are going to be going towards B, but he's trying to push himself up long here and potentially catch them off, but it's just not going to happen. Good read here from Goliath just to take full control of the B bomb site together as a unit, making sure they're closely spaced to one another, so even if Doru is on the side of the map, they can trade him out. And as soon as the bomb plant comes through here, the penny drops for Doru and he realizes he's on the wrong side of the map. So, does he go for this? I reckon so. I mean, when you look at the amount of money that ATK have, although he's actually going to just play the long game, wants to save the AWP for his teammates, make sure that they're going to have a full buy. I actually like this decision when you see how much money Blaze has. He only has $400. He doesn't have enough money to buy up in the next round, and now because Doru is going to save the AWP, there will be a weapon dropped across to him. So that's okay. ATK licking their wounds. Those wounds just require a plaster and some Dettol at this point. Nothing too serious. Going to be saving.
Not even Dettol, Matt. They just
not even Dettol, just a plaster.
Pour a shot of vodka on it.
A spritz of perfume, perhaps, or cologne. That was the old way of doing it.
Based.
Yeah, exactly right.
Cheap.
Alright, so Goliath Gaming won that all-important gun round, a round which they had to. They need to string a couple more together here, though. That round win alone is not enough to get them out the woods. They've pulled the map out the bag, and they've identified the path they need to take, but it's a treacherous path. And a path that is going to be a lot less traveled by previous opponents going up against ATK. No one's really been able to fully get through the path and reach the finish line. And Slowy's one of those reasons why. Fady, another, both of them just quickly chiming in with the frag apiece. Reduces Goliath Gaming's numbers down to just 2. ADM, though, with a quick double kill, is able to even things out again, and they know that Fady's on this side of the map. He only has 8 health, so this is going to be precarious. He gets caught up by Elusive. Oh my god, this round is completely swung back into Goliath Gaming's favor, but Mistems ran over the bomb, and I think he's realized this. He puts himself in a position he's going to be ducking behind the bin here. Does Dweezil see his head? I don't think he realized it's actually a player's ahead, because he can see it. He can see the top of his little cop there. And does he realize? No, he hasn't. Mistem playing this to perfection right now, giving nothing away, and he's going to be hearing the audio cue, waiting for the opportunity. He pounces and finds the kill onto Dweezil. So this 1 versus 2 is very winnable for him right now. Does he decide to keep control of the bomb, or is he going to be repositioning himself? It seems like it's going to be the latter. And I really like this decision, forward thinking from Mistem, because Goliath Gaming are going to be so caught up on trying to secure the bomb. Mistem's used this opportunity to reposition himself towards the B bomb site. They do pick up the bomb, and now they're shifting themselves back into his guys. This is just so beautiful right now from Mistem, making perfect decision after decision. Is he getting around the corner in time? No, but he still finds a kill on Elusive. ADM fairly low as well. Mistem wins the clutch. That was played to perfection. A thing of beauty. And that is surely going to be stealing the thunder that was under Goliath. What a fantastic clutch. What a beautiful read. And what a smart Counter-Strike player Mistem is.
Huge 5-head plays, Matt. He is Megamind and Mojo Jojo as one being right now. Just disgusting bit of play there to pull that out. Goes 14-7 to do ATK up against Goliath. And we assumed they would win this map, but not in this fashion even.
Man, dude, that clutch.
Playing with their food right now.
Yeah, that clutch was a spectacle to behold. He just made no mistakes. He was so calm and composed throughout. And that is such a tough pull for guys to swallow. I mean, what did they even think when they get on the B bomb? Suddenly he's standing on B, just mowing them down. It's like, what the heck? How has he gotten here so quickly? And he had to move the moment he did. And now we get into this gun round, 14-7. It's ATK who've got everything going their way right now. They find the 2 quick kills again, and this time there's no quick response from ADM. Man, oh man. It's a beautiful thing to watch when it works out like this. Counter-Strike is a wonderful game. And it's a 2 versus 4 for Goliath to try and keep themselves in the hunt right now, but it's just not happening for them. Shut down on the B bomb site by the defense. Zip does find a kill, but they'll take that information as a result, will ATK. And they're about to make it 15-7 here. Unless Zip can pull off the unthinkable. And he's going to be going down. Man, oh man. What a game.
And that sets up ATK for map point. Quite comfortable as you like. 15-7 the scoreline. They've got plenty of breathing room. 8 rounds is a lot in CSGO. And GG. I think any round they can get here will be a consolation. They're going to be forced into a forced buy. They really need to learn from these experiences for map 3 if they're going to have a chance at winning this. Fady on the boost just hits a Daria, and it's the first time they do it as well. I mean, what is that? 7 rounds into the half, and it's the first time you go for that boost, and it nets you a kill immediately. Couldn't have asked for more. could ATK. GG pushing out onto B once again. They make it onto the bomb side.
No.
Fady is in position to take one down. Dweezil gets a trade onto Blaze. Doru gets one back. Zip gets one of his own onto Fady. Scrappy as you like, but it is a 2v3. Now a 1v3 as Doru just makes it that much more harder, and he knows exactly where Zip is, and he closes out the map. 16-7.
Man.
ATK.
The crossfires on that B bomb site, Reese, were just beautiful from ATK. Every single time, they all on the same page. They're all playing off of one another. The synergy, the communication, the understanding. And this is what I talk about every time I say, you need to keep in mind this ATK team has been together for the longest in the South African CSGO scene right now. It's about 6 or 7 months that this team has been together. And that's why they've had so much time to work on all these finite details. Everybody knows exactly what's required of them in every single situation that they find themselves in, because they've been there, they've done it, they've experienced it, they've had challenges, they've overcome those challenges, they continue to grow and develop, and that's why they are the best team in South Africa. 16-7, what a resounding victory that was on map number 2. We did say Overpass was always going to be going the way of ATK, and that does end up being the case. So now we go to Inferno. Are Goliath Gaming going to be able to keep themselves in the hunt, or are we going to be seeing the 3-0 victory we've all come to know and expect from ATK in these best of 5 finals? We're going to be taking a short break, but before I go, I just want to let you guys know we have another giveaway coming up in the next map. We're going to be giving away an EveTech backpack. Reese, should we be opening up the giveaway for that one just yet, or do you want to wait till the next map starts?
I think we'll do it at halftime of the next map.
There we go. So, not open just yet, guys. So, hold off on those keyboards. When we open up for you, we'll let you know. We're going to be taking a short break before Inferno, but don't go anywhere, because if this past couple 2 maps have been anything to go off, Inferno is certainly going to be a spectacle as well. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes, and be sure to join us. We'll see you now. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Evesports EGL One 2020 main event. We are in the middle of a scintillating grand final right now between ATK and Goliath Gaming. We just came off the back of Overpass, where ATK had a dominating performance. They picked up the map 16-7, and not without some phenomenal heroics throughout as well. The individuals are just on absolute fire right now. We've also seen a lot of individual potential on the side of Goliath Gaming, so we're certainly not discounting them just yet, especially because we're heading to Inferno next, which is a map that in the past couple of weeks, they've displayed a lot of prominence on. So, Reese, if there was ever a map that Goliath Gaming were going to be able to take off ATK, this was probably going to be it.
Oh, if it wasn't Dust 2, like you say, this is the only other one that they're in with big fights. And Dust 2 went down 16-11 and quite comfortably, all things considered. It just felt like ATK were in the driver's seat from start to end there. They never really ever were behind on rounds, if I'm not mistaken. I think maybe right at the beginning.
Right in the beginning, it was like 4-2, but from there, ATK just ran riot.
Exactly, and I mean the performances from them all have been exactly what you expect, and even more than that. Miston stepping up in that last game with a 1v3 that he won, or well, a 1v2 clutch and a 3k in that round. I mean, Slowy on the last map, 2 4Ks, a 3k and 4 2Ks for his round. 25 for 10, 1.84 rating. His flashes, his nades, everything he did was perfection, start to end. Then you're being backed up by guys like Fady, who got 21 for 9 and missed him 20 for 12. Doru 18 for 12. The worst on their team, Blaze, with an 11, 7 assists and a 17. I mean, he was basically in a support position throughout the map, and every other person is just fragging out super hard. What do you do as Goliath Gaming? Like, I think Adaru has been particularly quiet on their side. He had an 11 for 22 and then a 4 for 18. Which is rough, but I mean, even one player being quiet, it isn't enough to turn a game.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons Adara is struggling a little bit in this series is because we've seen over the past few weeks, he's actually been making quite a lot of plays, and he's one of those individuals who likes to feel himself. He likes to make those plays based off the situation in that moment when he recognizes he has an opportunity to do something. And ATK are just punishing him, like, when he identifies a potential opportunity, there's a crossfire setup, or there's a second player there, or whatever. But we're going to be finding out how Inferno plays that out as we are straight into the pistol round. And there's another scuffle this time. It's towards top banana. There's numbers here for Goliath Gaming, but there's numbers here for ATK as well. Blaze has to hit another shot, but he will not. And look at this flank from Mistim. He's already coming up behind him. He's taking a player down. And before you blink, we're already into the 2 versus 3. Let's kick things off here on Inferno and see if Goliath Gaming can keep themselves alive here in the hunt in the Evesports EGL One 2020 main event grand final. They're down 2-0 right now, but they're not out of it just yet. Fady alive and kicking, but he's going to get caught up by the crossfire as soon as Zip takes contact. Dweezil gets in on the action as well. And Goliath Gaming, they pick up the pistol round, exactly what they needed, Reese. They have got the EGL they need to make sure that everybody's going to be keeping cool, calm, and composed. Nobody's going to get frustrated. There's not going to be any over emotions from the team right now. Elusive will just be reining his troops in and making sure that everybody's level-headed.
Yeah, they just need to take it one map at a time. There definitely is a lot of pressure on them. They're facing match point on any map point right now. And GG start things off in the way they need to. There is a force buy that comes out from ATK. They do have some MP9s, a swag, and a 5.7, and all of those can do damage in the right situations, but it is that situational setup, and Goliath opened things up with a nice clean kill onto Slowy, the danger man from the last map. They set themselves up with good banana control as well as some top mid control, giving themselves some options here, not really overcommitting, showing some presence. Oh, GG over towards the B bomb site. ADM is able to pick up another one, which sets themselves up in the 4v3, which is fantastic position for them. And it looks like B is going to be the call. They're going to wrap from archers. And if they knew what we knew, they'd know how absolutely perfect that is right now. And it's just
exactly.
Basically in a 1v4 on the B bomb site.
Yeah, there are some rotations coming through from both Mistim and Fady. If they can get in position quickly enough, they might be able to have an impact here. The bomb carrier is actually taking the fight. Adaro, he has got some support at top banana from Zipzip, but ATK making this one interesting right now, but Blaze about to get overwhelmed. Dweezil and Zipzip, or rather Dweezil and Elusive just double peek him and take him down. So this force buy not working out as exactly as ATK would have liked, although there's some fairly low HP on a couple players here for Goliath, and my word, Fady, you're an absolute madman. Mistim was like, brother, you're going in on that fight alone. I'm certainly not going to be following you into that one. follow you into 9 out of 10 battles, but that's the 1 out of 10 that I'm just not going to be tagging along for.
So, and I like his decision making to save the armor. You know, he's got.
Well, is he going to be able to? Oh no! Oh no! He can't get his gun out in time. He's juggling between his knife, his pistol, and his MP9. And Elusive puts him out of his misery. So look at Elusive. He's off to a flyer here, 5 for 1. And we're going to have a full savior for ATK. So Reese, at the top of this broadcast, we said the 2 maps that Goliath Gaming absolutely have to win if they're going to be competitive in this best of 5 series is Dust 2 and Inferno. They got close on Dust 2, but they weren't able to get the job done. They lost 16-11. Coming into Inferno, they have to win this map to keep themselves alive and in the hunt. We go across to Nuke next, which is going to be a tough ask, but that's not what they're going to be focusing on. I think Goliath will be content with the series if they can at least take a map off of ATK. If they can make them bleed, show they're not immortal. That's going to be the goal right now for Goliath. Just prove they have what it takes to be competitive. And historically, Reese... Oh no, ADM, I think he might have timed out. Or... No, he didn't time out. What on earth happened there? I don't know. But it shouldn't be costing them too much. At least his teammates have still got a solid tap on things. As Fady is just flying around with this mag 7. Oh my god. He's even brought a Dara down low. He's going to tap him with the USB. And that's an AK. Oh man, he's making this one interesting right now. I mean, this was just a mere eco round. But I don't think he's going to be able to get too much done here, surely. I mean, you know exactly where he is. He's going to continue spraying through the smoke here. Oh, not enough ammo in the gun. He traded weapons, but he picked up another empty AK. Anyway, what I was saying is that historically, Inferno's been, maybe you could say ATK is one of their weaker maps, especially in the beginning of their tenure. They were sort of like perma-banning this map against Goliath. They then started working really hard on it, and their T side is phenomenal in this map, but I'm still a little bit skeptical of their CT side. So let's see if Goliath Gaming can exploit that and make something happen.
Full buy from both teams here, though. Slowy has picked up that AWP. He was more than prolific on Overpass with it. We'll have to see if he can keep that form going. If he does, it's going to be huge problems for GG. But Dweezil opening things up with a kill on Missed Him. He was exploring mid. Elusive gets taken down by Slowy. So the AWP starting to work. Blaze gets one on ADM, but he gets immediately traded out by Mr. Zip. And it's now in a 3-on-3. CT's split up quite far across the map. Very difficult to rotate in time on Inferno. The run from CT is longer than you think it is. It looks like it's going to be a B push from GG. One of their players is Adaru, just lurking over towards A. If he finds Fady, that'll be absolutely fantastic for them. But top of B, they've got Slowy to contest with, who's creeping up, and he gets one.
Man.
Even when they look like they're in a good position, Doru just makes it that much harder as he repeaks for Dweezil. Expecting an AWP probably was Mr. Dweezil, and he gets taken down.
Oh,
and now Slowy just pivots and takes down a Doru.
He's so tough to play against because he's everywhere. It was Dweezil who found that opening pick onto Missed Him, and that was a great way for Goliath Gaming to start off this gun round. But then Slowy just with the AWP, he activates, he finds the first kill, shifts across to B, finds the second, and then he catches the player rotating through CT as well, making perfect reads, hitting all his shots. And he is in fantastic form right now, as he has been over the past couple months. And ATK, because of all that damage they did in the third round, Reese, because of all those frags that Fady found, Goliath Gaming have to save now, even though they kicked off with a 3-round win streak. So this is a good opportunity for ATK to draw within 1. And this fight towards Banana is going to be a big theme throughout the entirety of this half. You know that ATK are going to be looking to take control more often than not. The combination of Blaze and Doru is a tough nut to crack. Slowy's going to be there frequently as well. And Goliath Gaming, a team who loves to take some delayed banana control quite often as well. You'll see ADM and Dweezil sometimes chiming in together to take the control. Just keen to see how that's going to be playing out through the rest of the half. Right now, though, it's just Desert Eagles on the board for Goliath, and they've taken top mid control, and they're sort of just posturing themselves, waiting for somebody to make a play, waiting to maybe punish one of these CTs. But ATK aren't giving them an inch, and this is exactly as you should be approaching your anti-eco rounds, everybody. No need to take control, no need to show presence, no need to take fights, no need to make plays, especially when you've got the man advantage. And Fady makes that a 2-man advantage, and you see how the patience just plays off for the CTs. Just Dweezil left now, and he's not long for this world either. ATK keep 4 players alive. More importantly, the AWP is still in the mix as well, and that's going to be boding very well for their economy, which is a bit of a challenge for Goliath, Reese, because If ATK just steamroll ahead with their economy and they sort of reach that 10k mark, it's very tough to contest against as a T side, in particular on a map like Inferno. It's going to be a double save for Goliath.
I actually quite like the deco here. I thought they might go for the buy. It did look like they were just a little bit short from having the full toolkit, and the deco gives them the util toolkit, but oh, missed him. He goes through the smoke. He isn't able to get the kills. They are aware that this is a deco that GG like to go for, but Blaze making it really difficult for them. A lot of spraying coming through the smoke.
Man,
missed him now to back him up, and a nice nade. Oh, they clean it up.
And look at the quick flank from Fady, just pushing down middle, catching the players in Banana. We saw Mistim doing that in the pistol round, so clearly a bit of a tendency for ATK to look to try and wrap on their opponents as quickly as they possibly can, maybe making a bit of a read. Perhaps they've identified that Goliath Gaming, when they commit to Banana like that, they don't leave anybody watching the flank or watching down middle, and they're trying to exploit that. So something Goliath Gaming are going to have to become aware of. And this is pretty much the first proper full gun round we've had here on Inferno. AKs across the board, all full usage for everybody in Sundry and ADM. He's able to capitalize as he takes down players, and Doru's gotten himself in the smoke, but he gets spotted out, and Weasel takes him down as well. It's just Mistim left out by himself, and surely he's going to be getting overwhelmed. He's able to find the first. The spray transfer is on point, but he's just going to be doing damage. Fady's still in position as well. He's got the spray transfer to take down 2, and he stays alive. ADM with only 2 health is the last man left in the situation, and he's going to get taken down as well by Fady. What a quick rotation. What a big heads-up play that was. Goliath Gaming never expected the 4th player on the side of the map. And now it's just Adara left in the clutch, the 1 versus 1 that he desperately needs to win. And Fady, you can see he has no idea where Adara is going to be coming from right now. Adara will be able to retrieve the bomb for free, and he's got enough time to potentially go back towards A if he so chooses. And Fady's starting to work his way around. They've spotted each other, so now Fady knows exactly where Adara is coming from. Adara has been able to recover the bomb now. The question is, does he double fake? Does he go back up towards B through Banana? Or is he going to be committing to the A side? So it looks like it's going to be the latter. Picks up the C4 and just rushes himself over to the A bomb site. But Fady's made the read. He's already gotten himself into position, and he's going to be shifting, coming through from brackets. I don't think Adara at all will be expecting Fady to be coming from this part of the map. He's expecting him to come from archers, from library perhaps, and he might actually back himself into Fady. But because he drops the smoke, he's prepared for it, and he wins that gun battle. Timing works out perfectly for him, and he wins that all-important round for his team.
Almost, the wheels almost fell off there for Goliath. Fady with another disgusting 1v4 almost clutch. He almost did it yesterday, or on Does 2, sorry, earlier today. Almost.
Yeah.
It feels like it was that long ago, perhaps. But he sets himself up really nicely there, all things considered. Nothing but a Herculean effort from Daru to win out that round.
Oh my god, Snowy, you're mad, bro. Snowy
He is mad.
So mad, like... That's the thing with Slowy, like when you watch his players, you're often left questioning his decision making, but he pulls those sort of plays off more often than not, so we have no right to question that decision making. And it's a 4v4, but Fady just going above and beyond right now. He's on an absolute tear. He's 10 for 5, and he's a living nightmare for Goliath Gaming. Just continuously charging away, finding these multi-kills to keep the team in a good position, but Doru will have to defend this B-bomb site by himself as he loses his support structure in Blaze, but he finds the kill, which means there's still a man advantage for ATK. He's got the information on ADM's position. In fact, he's looking to try and take the fight. Probably ill-advised. He's gotten ahead of the molly, though. Dreesland doesn't expect him to be so far forward, and that leaves ADM in an unwinnable situation. Great triple kill from Doru. Doesn't even need the support from his teammates to keep control of that B-bomb site and secure the retake. 4-4. This is looking like ATK are starting to find their mojo on the CT side, Reese.
Definitely winning 4 of the last 5 rounds. Only 1 they all went down in. They still made it expensive with only 1 player on Goliath surviving. So that's why their economic situation is in turmoil. And ATK, the rounds that they have been winning, they've been keeping 3 or more alive. So they've got another full buy here, double AWP setup, all the util in the world. Really nice position for them. I think Slowy just needs to take more into his name and just slow down on the beginning of these rounds here, though. He
doesn't know what that is, Reese. He doesn't know what that means. He's the type of player who, even when he's like, he's not hitting those shots, he almost wants to like force himself into the game. So he'll like make these extravagant plays, and then he'll land like the triple kill with 3 nutty AWP shots, and from there he finds his form. So he's one of those AWPers who doesn't really shift down gears. He just continues to make plays until it eventually starts working. And like, more often than not, it actually does start working. So it's going to be tough. And let's see, it looks like he wants to get aggressive here towards the top banana. This is what you'd say. It's ill-advised, right? He's in the anti-eco. It's still a 5v5. He's got support behind him, but he's going on an explorative mission right now. He's going to be finding the head of Zipzip, but then he gets caught out thereafter. No, somehow he's actually able to get out alive. And he drops the smoke behind him to give him cover, but that doesn't deny the bullets. But still, there's 2 players on this B bomb site for ATK, so they shouldn't have any trouble cleaning up this aggression coming through from Goliath Gaming. Doru racking up another multi-kill. He's been a bit of an unsung hero for ATK in the series, actually. And they clean out the round, keeping 4 players alive. And this is the danger I was alluding to a couple rounds ago. When ATK starts to get this monolithic economy behind them, it becomes very difficult to contest on the T side.
Especially with Slowly making plays like that, he knows that there's money in the bank, so he can push forward, get some advantage in numbers on the field primarily, and then secondarily he wins the info battle simultaneously. And look at Mism on the start of this round, running through Kenny's, getting all the information you could like, identifying that there are players towards second mid, and that they are coming out of T ramp as well. So I quite like that, especially for the fact that he takes absolutely no damage in doing so. And he expends some util from the Goliath camp trying to combat his position. And this is looking good towards top of B though. They have gotten full banana control. Do GG.
Yes.
They haven't split the field yet though. Only 2 players to receive on B until Slowly just makes it that much more difficult with another aggressive play towards mid. And I really like this now, this decision making. Aggressive play, get the pick, retreat back into the bomb site and wait to receive. Put the ball in Goliath's court.
Yeah, and because they've got that top banana control you mentioned a couple seconds ago, Goliath Gaming don't really have many other options but to commit to this B hit and Blaze with the AWP this time round. He's got the angle and lockdown and he takes down Zipzip to ensure the 3 versus 5. And this is where Doru needs to come into play as well. Playing from behind family, his support's been taken away by that smoke from as Blaze has been smoked off by Coffins, but it doesn't really make much of a difference as Doru lands a great headshot onto ADM. And this executes barely even gained any momentum before it's been shut down by ATK. That's their 6th round in the past 7, Reese, as they're really starting to pull ahead on the CT side right now. Nothing's been working out for Goliath. ATK holding on to their util, waiting for the presence to come through from Goliath. They're reading their defaults right now, and I want to see some sort of an aggressive setup to try and unsettle this ATK team from Goliath. Maybe we see a quick hit up middle off the back of some flashbangs, smoke right side mid, wrap through archers, but just try something to unsettle this ATK team because they're just sitting and waiting right now, receiving Goliath as they make their way forwards off the back of their defaults. And now it's Blaze who's topping the scoreboard for ATK. So just everybody's had their moments of brilliance under this ATK team throughout this grand final.
To add to what you're saying, I couldn't agree with you more, Matt. They did that actually a lot of times versus DNMK, and we haven't seen it once now in 10 rounds. That's 66% of 0.6 recurring, if you're doing the quick maths.
On point with that one. Unlike Muslim's on point with this spray. Just feels like there's been very few frags going the way of Goliath Gaming these rounds that they've been losing, and seems like that's going to be the case here once again. Fady knows that Dweezil's on the angle, clears him out as well. And I actually want to do some calculations here. In the rounds that Goliath Gaming have lost, they've only found a total, okay, of 6, 7, 8 kills across 7 rounds, Reese. Goliath Gaming have only had 8 kills in the 7 rounds they've lost on this map. So even the rounds they're losing, there's just no competition. And that's what's allowed ATK's economy to sort of spiral out of control right now. Big gun round coming up.
Massive for GG. They really, really need this. It's just going to be a dent, though, into the ATK economic system. Elusive is able to find one.
Oh my bro, this guy is insane. There's a bit of an overplay from Slowy though, not necessary to take that peek, and Fady's going to go down as well. ADM just charging forward with the AK, finds the running headshot. And this should be a round for Goliath Gaming. They've taken full control of the A bomb site. They've got some util to secure the site. And there should be no way that ATK make this retake happen. You can see Blaze is still tentatively clearing out Banana right now. And the bomb's actually taken a while to get into position, which means Doru's been able to get a bit further forward than Goliath might anticipate. Dweezil's missed his shot, and he's not going to be able to get out alive. And as I say, the bomb's only going to get planted now, which means that both of these CTs are in position to make the retake happen. Blaze trades for his favorite AK. Not sure if he spotted the head of ADM, though, who's looking to try and take a bit more of a forward angle, playing behind the hay bales. That now they know exactly where ADM is, and Doru's going to take him down. And they saw the trajectory of the flashbang. It's just some left. He's been dinged down, and he's going to get taken down by Doru as well. Oh my god, what did we just witness? Doru finds all 3 kills. And Goliath Gaming, they spill that round. A round which it had a cup on it, Reese. How do you spill a cup that has a lid on it? It just shouldn't happen.
It starts with Dweezil missing the AWP uncharacteristically. He had the perfect position. Dory had no idea he was there. Back turned. Dweezil rushes it and unfortunately misses. And Dory is able to capitalize on the back of that. Good teamwork with Blaze as well. As he pushes through lane, gets the info. Dory pops out, manages to get the kills. And look at their scores. I mean, 13-5, 14-6, and 12-6. 3 of the ATK players going off.
Bro, he just threw the half wall, destroys ADM. He even got double naded, brought down to 6 health, but he just fires off a shot and finds a headshot.
Yeah, as you say, he gets brought down to 6 HP, but it's still enough to keep walking, moving, and firing, and it's enough right now for ATK. They put themselves in an 8-4 position on the CT side of Inferno, where we know that their T side is even more vicious. Unless Goliath can pull something out of their hat, this is the time to make those obscure plays happen. And they're going to look to do it through mid, and it is going to go well for them on the opening of things. Daru and Dweezil get the first 2 kills, and it's just Fady here, but we've seen what he can do. He sets up a nice smoke for them to push through. Nice. He does get 1. Dweezil trades him out, though. And it is now a 2v3 with Doru and Blaze quite low.
Again.
I can't imagine them not saving. Even with their cash and bank that they do have, they're going to want to keep that open AK up.
Yeah. This time round, it's the same combination, but they're going to be deciding. Yeah, and they really needed that round as well. I really like the decision making there, just to pop up, take mid control off the back of that flashbang. They caught the 2 players holding it completely off guard, and while Fady was still on the bomb side, he just had too much work to do, and that was just predicated off the amount of aggression that came through from Goliath as they push onto the A bomb side through the smoke. Nobody second guesses the decision making there. Nobody's baiting their teammates. They all push through together onto their A sides, and that's what means that's what denies Fady the chance of getting the multi kill. And Dweezil goes down to the explosion, but I really like the spacing there from Goliath as they swarm that A bomb site, and they win that round. So 8-5, Goliath Gaming just keep themselves in the hunt here, all things considered, because let's not forget, ATK have a crazy T side on this map. So Goliath really need, I'd say, like at least 6 here, if not 7.
I think it might not be enough, man. Especially if ATK win the pistol round. I think that's going to be really hard to come back from. Nice nade to open things up here, though. Zip eats one to the tune of 46 damage. Boosted mid here as well in the 14th round. Penultimate round for this half. ADM finds space, though, on B. Managed to take down Blaze, but the bomb's nowhere near to capitalize. Even though they're going to be able to get onto the B bomb site here, it does look like there is going to be some presence pushed towards mid just to sell it all that more convincingly. Elusive in position there, and there are 2 CTs in position here, and they're going to go up on the boost, and they're going to get 1, but they are going to get taken down. So he's going to push with a pop flash. He's going to get taken down as well.
This is what we're talking about.
GG looked to secure another round, but maybe some foolish plays actually coming out from ATK right now, underestimating GG, and they seem to take their heads off for it.
Yeah, exactly that. Well punished by Goliath Gaming. Good assertion of dominance there. Nice shots from Zip and ADM to find the kill as well and just unlock that B bomb site. Something that we've actually, I don't think we've seen Goliath Gaming successfully do throughout this whole half. Maybe besides the first 3, I can't remember. But when the gun rounds have been coming to fruition, that B bomb site's been pretty much impenetrable from Goliath Gaming's perspective. But they're about to find their 6th round here. And that 8-7 is a very realistic prospect right now for Goliath Gaming, as they continue their fight here on Inferno, but Elusive will be charging into Mistum. Doesn't really matter. Enough money to drop the AK back over across. And there'll be enough for ATK to muster up a full buy run, once again, courtesy of that streak they had where they won 8 rounds out of 9. Built their economy up nicely for them. So here we go. Final round of the first half here on Inferno. Remember, Goliath Gaming are down 0-2 in the series right now after losing out on Dust and Overpass. They had to win this map if they're going to be keeping themselves alive in the grand final. And there's a scuffle again towards the top of Banana. But this time ATK decides to just regress and play passively from the bomb site. Or rather regress, not regress.
Slowly misses a prime opportunity though. He does hit Elusive, put him on 11 HP. Hasn't managed to close it out though. He would have liked to take down that player for sure.
Oh, ADM, you're a madman.
It's ADM. He finds two. There is one left in the form of Mr. who's got a lot of work to do here. He does get a second, but with the trades, it's just slowly left in a 1 versus 2, and he's all the way over on the A bomb side. He's going to look to push up Banana, and he's going to find Elusive waiting for him. If he can get the first kill, it will help out a lot. Dweezil's in position now as well. They both seem to be aware of where he's coming from, and he's going to be using the AWP, which is not ideal. Dweezil gets the kill, and it goes 8-7. So Goliath pulls out from a really bad position, 8-4. They managed to get the last 3 rounds, which is looking a lot better for them, but they need a massive opener on the CT. If they don't win the first 3 rounds here, Matt, that's going to bode trouble for them. And equally, ATK, I'm sure, want to close this out.
The one thing I will say, statistically, the thing that doesn't bode well for Goliath is out of the 5 pistol rounds we've had so far in this afternoon prior to this one, ATK have won 4 of them. And their T-side pistols have been emphatic, to say the least, and they just sort of group up as a unit and charge onto a bomb site. And it looks like middle is going to be their points of aggression this time around. It has been spotted out by Goliath. They've got a player left side mid and right side mid. Elusive holding the angle on the right. Adaro does find a nice shot there as well, so that's going to be earning the one-man advantage for Goliath, but that doesn't slow ATK down. They just continue trudging forward, but they just continue pushing into Adaro's USP, which is on point right now, landing shot after shot. Finally, Mist able to connect on one of his own, but he's not on the woods just yet, and he's also controlling the smoke, and he's not able to get that smoke off. So now it's just Doru left, and he can't land those instant shots either. There was an opportunity there for him to find 2 quick kills, but it's Goliath who win the pistol round, courtesy of the ace from Adaro. Fantastic work from him to come alive here on Inferno. He was 8-10 before that sequence, but now he goes up 13-10. And we should open up the giveaway, Reese.
Definitely, it's about that time. Yorba in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Apache attack helicopters. Come on, come all. Throw Yorba in the chat. Mr. Nobody will give you a prime example of that. Enter it once, please. If you double enter, you'll be taken out. And subscribing to the channel does give you a second entry.
Yes, and it's not cap sensitive either. So if you enter with caps or lowercase, doesn't make a difference. And it's open to South African residents only. And we're giving away the EveTech backpack, by the way. That's what you're entering the giveaway for. It's funny, like everyone hears giveaway and they just start answering. It's just like, giveaway? Yes, I want to win the giveaway. And why wouldn't you? Of course, it's free stuff, and it's awesome free stuff with that. And right now, ATK just very aggressively surging onto this B bomb side. Actually catches Dweezil in a bit of a transitional position. ADM still alive and kicking, really important on this side for him to find another kill, but he's going to go down, and it's actually gotten a little bit awkward here for Goliath Gaming. Fady on the quick flank will find Adaro as well, and that should be securing the round for ATK. How on earth does Elusive make this 1 versus 3 happen? He's got no positional control, no utility, no kit either, and he is going to take this farmers into the next round. ATK, I really like that force buy. They rush up top mid, they show all the presence in the world there, sort of all the comms in Goliath. They're probably talking about how they're working their way towards A. They've seen a lot of numbers there, and then they just quickly rotate back across to B, and they charge onto the B bomb site. They don't question the decision. They don't try and figure out exactly what sort of information they have to work with. They just go for it, and it works out perfectly for them. Goliath were not ready to receive the players on that B bomb site.
Definitely not, an equally unready for Fady, who made a sick maneuver through middle. He manages to go up mid, through the left side, into Arch, get himself a kill, and then wrap around the player on B, who's honestly not ready for it. He moved extremely quickly through those 2 kills. They were less than 20 seconds apart. And he sets his team up for the B round win after securing that bomb site. So just really clever big brain plays all around from ATK, showing that Goliath, even though you're coming up to par against us here, we're going to take back control. And they do so as they go into this round and towards the top of B. ADM is spotted and taken down, and now it's just Dweezil on the angle with an MP9. He does have some util to try and slow this down, but ATK very wisely slow it down themselves and perhaps force some rotations over here and keep their mid presence with Fady in position. But it is going to be the B push. They do come through a little bit later to try and soak up some of that util. from GG. They find themselves on the bomb side. There are 3 players left for the retake, but they're taking on 5 ATK players who all have rifles in hand. And I think it's with what they've gotten into this round, it is perhaps a better call to save, considering they have no loss bonus built up, and the kit that they do have on hand is going to be much higher value than anything they could buy in the following round.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be saving in the next. At least they take the FAMAS and a couple of pistols into the next round. Means that they'll have a bit of firepower to work with. Armor on the 3 players as well. But this is just ATK starting to kick things off on the T side, right? They're 6 rounds away now, Reese, from being crowned as the champions of the Evesports EGL One 2020 main event, without even dropping a map throughout the entirety of the event. Like, what a crazy feat that would be. Coming up against teams like Energy, Goliath Gaming twice, and not dropping a map in any of those series, that would be quite something spectacular. They've done it before, and they're looking to do it here once again. And I believe this is actually ATK's last event for the year, Reese, and so they really want to end the year on a high here and just cap things off as it's been going throughout the entire year, just dominating the entire scene. And Mr. has a job to do towards Banana. He's going to be spotting 1, which he does take down, but he does get traded up. But that's okay, because off the back of that ATK, they get the information that there's quite a few numbers from Goliath's perspective on that side of the map, which gives them the free reign to just push onto the vacant A-bomb site. So 11-8 is going to be the score here, unless Goliath can pull off something spectacular in the retake, which I just don't see happening. So this next gun round is of utmost importance. If Goliath even opt to go for the gun round, they're going to get $2,400 after this round, which sort of just leaves them in limbo. It's there or thereabouts. And they're hanging around right now, perhaps just trying to inflict a bit of economic damage of their own. I've got the kits on Dweezil, but yeah, they're going to think better of this one. They should actually be saving these pharmacists, I suppose, because these are weapons that they could subsidize the buy with in the next round and make sure they get proper utility. So I suppose that's a good idea.
I'm thinking Blaze is going to survive here on literally 2 HP. Let's see how close my guess is. 14, okay. Bit more than that, actually. It's kind of weird how the bomb works on Inferno, right? With that pit area. In a lot of maps, if you're at that distance, you just die, even through walls and stuff. But on Inferno, they managed to make it happen, and there's no Doja nade coming out from Boiler to upset that. So they get a healthy amount of players through the round, do ATK. They've only lost 3 in the last 3 rounds in total, and because of that, look at their economic situation. This is something that ATK is so good at, is once they're ahead, is just getting that much further ahead. It's going to be an aggressive retake over here, which is
my
actually
God,
terribly.
He's just built differently, bro. He is just built differently. He just sits on the opposite side of the smoke up against the wall, and he just holds down mouse button 1 and he gets a double kill. And neither of them are headshots. It's not like a stray bullet connects. He just destroys them. And ATK, in such an important round, just seamlessly gain a massive advantage. And it seems like they do want to try and finish things off towards the B bomb site right now, as they still have all their players grouped up over on this part of the map, and they're just going to be charging the way forward. Slowly continues to lead that charge. He's got some information. There's a push from Adaro, but he's completely blinded up before he gets through the other side of the smoke. And Blaze finally gets in on the action as well. It's not just the Slowy show in this round, but it's only Elusive left. And this is the full gun round that was really important for Goliath Gaming, the all-important gun round. It's about to be 12-8, and Goliath Gaming have nothing to show for it, Reese. Oh, Elusive. He wants the ninja. He's feeling the ninja. I'm feeling the ninja. Oh, okay. Caught a bullet. He's feeling the ninja. But he's being tagged up, and Slowy knows that he's there. So that's any chance of a ninja defuse happening has now been dispelled. 12-8 ATK on the home stretch, Reese. They can see that title on the horizon now. It's like when you're driving back from Durban on the N2 highway. You come over the hill, and then you can just see the Joburg city skyline there on the horizon. And they can see Evesports champions season 1 right there and then, up for the taking.
And they're just so thorough as well, aren't they, Matt, with all of the things that they're doing. Even that spam through there, by all measure, Elusive should be on the other side of the map, hiding, cowering in fear, and they've just got too much Sherlock Holmes clearing. They're eliminating all the impossibles. Whatever's left, however improbable, is likely the truth, and they managed to close out that round. 12-8 now,
man.
and slowly just opening things up.
And check the money.
And he gets it again as the smoke
my
pops.
word.
Agaru gets taken down on the angle. Blaze not being sold that there won't be someone. I mean, this thorough play from ATK is just, it's just too well rounded right now. And it,
Yeah.
by all measures, Goliath Gaming, unfortunately, do not have the answers. I mean, they are operating on a perceived 40% of their total capacity. And to even get into the rounds and stuff that they have and to have gotten so far as they have in this tournament, and even as far as they have gotten against ATK, it's been an impressive set from them. But ATK are just so well waxed, polished, and prepared. Even look at this, how they're clearing this now. There's a trade in position, there's flashes set up. I know that there's a possibility still of Dweezil being close. They double peek him again into library. They literally, so far, in these 3 maps, have made one notable mistake where they went for a double peek onto ADM, where he was already holding the angle. But beyond that, I mean, they just don't make mistakes, do they, Matt?
Nah, it's just such a rare occasion to see them making some sort of a mistake. They're such a well-oiled machine across the board, and this is the gun round that Goliath Gaming cannot afford to lose. They have the double orb set up. Dweezil's going to try and get aggressive towards top banana, but he's been blinded up, and now he's sort of segregated from his teammate by the util. Doru and Fady, they just find those 2 frags so quickly, and Goliath Gaming, they haven't even given themselves a chance to defend that B bomb site, because once again, they've lost both of those players before we've even reached 15 seconds into the round. It's done, it's over, it's dusted. The players over on A are already thinking about saving these weapons. They haven't moved a muscle towards that B bomb site. And there's a snake in the grass. Mistim is already trying to deny them saving these weapons, and he's seen they're all still over there. So, I mean, ATK, they are relentlessly going to be trying to hunt them and deny them the opportunity of saving these weapons, which is exactly as they should be doing. They got so much money left in the bank, and they know if they can stop them from saving at least one more of these weapons, they leave Goliath in a perilous position. And Zip finds that all-important kill. Goliath with their backs against their walls. They have to fight their way out of this one. But slowly, and Fady, oh my god, that's disgusting from Fady. That one tap from hell as he takes down Elusive, and slowly finds the 2 kills. There shall be no weapon save for Goliath Gaming, and they have no choice but to save for the final round, unless they want to just try force up and keep themselves in it from there.
Oh, and it's such a hard position and an even harder decision, and it's going to be a deco as they opt in to buy down to 2,000, so they will get in just enough to buy for the last round. Dweezil's going to have to hard save, though. Basically, only gets himself a P250, so he can buy an AWP. And go for aggressive top B control once again. It hasn't worked out for them very well so far, and ATK just slow things down. They just pump the brakes. I love this because they're not giving them an inch. There are no mistakes for you guys to capitalize on. We're not going to give you anything. Even when you're in a commanding position, we're going to play slow, progressive CS as you should.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this towards
man,
top
again.
B. But slowly just walks up on Dweezil, catches him out from behind. Dweezil, waiting for some audio cues, but nothing to play off of, man.
Yeah, and Fady already catching the players on the flank. He just sprays Elusive down through the smoke as well. If Goliath Gaming didn't have bad luck right now, they wouldn't have any luck, Reese. It just seems to be the case. Nothing really going their way. They're not really catching any fortunes or favors from ATK. And this is going to be a round taken by ATK with ease. So, 15-8 map, match, and tournament point coming up for ATK in the next round. It's going to have to be 7 consecutive round wins for Goliath Gaming if they're going to be keeping themselves in the hunt here on Inferno. Reese, they haven't won one round in this whole half besides the pistol round. For ever since there's been rifles on the board, ever since there's been proper guns in the hands of ATK, they have been undeniably powerful. And I really want to see Goliath Gaming just take a step back after this. Call a timeout. Discuss the setup they want to employ at the B-bomb side. Stop just contesting top banana and banana control every round. Rather just forego the control. You know, sort of lick your wounds and realize that that battle's not working out for you. There's no point in continuing to just run down banana and trying to take the fight or sit top banana. I want to see Dweezil and ADM sit on the banks, the bomb side, hold their utility, and force ATK to make a move before they have a chance to take the fight.
Have to agree with you, Matt. You have that opportunity on Inferno where you can be very aggressive on the opening round of the CT side, but generally you're looking for one pick and then you retract, you hold on to your util, make the T's play into you, and They're going to start off by doing so, and it looks like they're finally going to take the retraction portion of that statement and move themselves back into the bomb sites.
Let's see the double op setup in play here for Goliath Gaming once again. The do or die round. Guys, we're going to be announcing the giveaway at the end of this round, so make sure you stick around to see who's going to be taking that backpack home. ATK looking to take the trophy home right now as they get their way out of apartments. Adaro finds one, but it's quickly answered back by Doru and Fady. However, that's not the job not done just yet, as ADM finds a kill, but as I said, that Slowy takes him down. Bomb planted over at A. Site secured, control taken, and Liston is going to catch elusive guard. He was just trying to tentatively clear off the angles and get himself into a position to make the retake happen. He's not even able to realize that possibility. It's just Weasel left in the 1v3 to try and keep his team in the hunt here. He does take down Mistum, but now Slowy knows exactly where he is. The angle not going to work out for him as he goes back. There's no ways he expects Slowy to be in the library. Going to lose his life here as Slowy sees him going through the smoke. He'll connect on the shots, and ATK are crowned as the champions of the Evesports EGL One 2020 main event, the inaugural event. They take home the title, they take home the 25,000 Rand prize pool, and they once again reassure and show everybody why they are the best team in South Africa. Once again, they've done the job and they've dominated the whole event. They didn't even drop a single map. They played 4 best of 3s and a best of 5, and they won every single map in every single one of those series. What a great performance that was by ATK.
Absolutely dominant showing here in the finals. They close out all maps actually quite comfortably, all things considered. There was a chance in it for Goliath, maybe on Dust 2, but ATK just shut it down, man. They all pitched up to the server today. I have to say, though, looking at the scores and just the overall stats, Fady kind of head and shoulders, above the rest. Even in his team, Slowy had a really big overpass, but in all instances, Fady has been there at number 1 or number 2. I think he has to be given the MVP for this set. He just pulled them apart. I mean, in that last map, he went 23 for 10, Matt.
Yeah, I know, and it just felt like on both Dust 2 and Overpass as well, he kept on having fantastic performances. He was great throughout the entirety of that match. So, without further ado, Reese, let's just roll that giveaway, because we also have an interview coming up with the winner's captain, guys. So don't go away just yet. We're going to be talking to Mr. in a minute. There we go. London Armstrong. Is it London? I'm not sure. I butcher everybody's name when I announce these giveaways winners. Congratulations. I think that might actually be a family member of Fady as well, if I'm not mistaken. So congrats to the Armstrong family winning that giveaway, that EveTech backpack. Hope it gets put to good use. So let's get Mr. in here so we can talk to the winning captain and hear his thoughts on the match. And see what he made of this fantastic game. There he is, Gareth, once again speaking to you as you are the victor, the victorious captain, the champions of Evesports. You've taken the title, you've finished off the year undefeated. Let's just first get your thoughts on, how this entire series played out in conjunction with the whole year, finishing off the year with this big event win. How's everybody feeling in the camp right now?
I think everyone's feeling good. I think the rest that we're going to have this break is going to be much needed. Yeah, we've been practicing constantly throughout the entire year. Everyone's been at the top of the game, and I couldn't be more happier to where we are.
Actually, that's something I want to just touch on before we talk about this grand final. You're the most hardworking team in South Africa right now. You guys have committed a lot of time to the Counter-Strike over the past couple of months. And of course, you guys are all committed your lives right now to CS. So why don't you just give everybody watching right now an idea of how much time you guys invest into Counter-Strike and practicing and playing your games?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much as soon as people are waking up, we have like a morning routine that we all do, plus minus 2 to 3 individual routine. So shooting bots, doing demos and things like that. And then we're practicing from 5:30 until 10. So probably a maximum of 8 hours of CS a day. That's excluding Faceit or any matchmaking, ESEA,
outside of that window. Yeah.
And I mean, we playing, if you add in everything, probably 10 to 11 hours a day of just playing CS full time.
Okay, crazy. Well, no surprise then that you guys have been dominating the scene like this. I think anything less than dominating the way you have, you guys wouldn't have been content with the year, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, Reese.
Well, first question is, if you're putting in more than 50 hours a week, I hope you're getting overtime pay for those extra few hours. You better be plugging that in there. So definitely throw that in. But regarding this set in the final here, you guys, obviously narrowly won Dust 2 the last time, 16-13, and that was a lot closer contested. It did seem like you worked out some anti-stratting to some effect by playing more of a 4+1 on your T side, and getting the rotational man in behind them. Was that a direct result of the previous set that you had against them?
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much the last time we played them on Dust, we didn't really expect them to pick Dust. I thought they would more lean towards Inferno because pretty much that's South Africa's bread and butter. But I didn't really expect Dust, so we kind of expected it now. So the team and I basically woke up at like 10 o'clock and I ran through the game plan of what we need to do on all the maps today, and the Veto in it pretty much exactly as I said. So we all knew what we needed to do, and when it came to game time, we just did what we needed to do.
Okay. Yeah, you guys got across the line there. It seemed like you were way more in control of Dust this time round than when you were last time you played them in the upper bracket final. Then you guys go into Overpass. You go down 4-2. And then from there, once you get your full gun rounds going on the T side, you guys just start to run rampant, especially exploiting that B bomb side. Is that, I mean, we've sort of asked a similar question before, but is that like the plan when you guys notice a potential gap in the defense or a chink in the armor? You just want to hit that as hard as you can, as much as you can?
Yeah, when I was kind of like testing their A defense in the beginning, and I kind of saw that they were playing 3 towards A. I think like ADM was like going a lowers a lot, and Dory was kind of explaining like, look, this guy's always towards lowers, and from our perspective, there were people pushing long and fountain. So we just needed to throw the same nades towards A, keep them there, and then we just ended B, allowing like a 5v2 fight. So once we identified that they putting a lot of pressure towards A, I mean, we just go to the other bomb site, and it's just hard for them to retake because we have so much utility.
Okay.
Reese, any further questions as we shift into map number 3 for him?
Yeah, just before we leave Overpass, I have to just give you a personal sort of dusting off of the shoulder for that 5-head 1v3 clutch that you set up with the bomb, man. That was sick to watch. It's probably I would say the play of the day, all things considered. Like that was super sick, man. Good job on that.
Yeah, I got super lucky when the bomb was there. I didn't know how I was going to really retake when I was coming through Monster, but yeah, I just saw the bomb below me and there was no real place to hide, so I just took a gamble and hid behind the trash can. And then once I knew that I had a molly, I just mollied them off, and I knew that was like 9 seconds that I had to at least get somewhere else. But yeah, it all paid off.
Yeah, worked out perfectly there. Your timing was on point. If you had waited like 1 more second before you decided to go through lowers, they would have gotten onto the site before you, and you probably lose the round from there. So yeah, that was fantastically played. And that's a thing about this ATK team, right? Is all 5 of the individuals on this roster have the capabilities of winning those sorts of clutches and popping off and fragging like crazy. There's no like weak link in this team. That's surely like one of the big features of your team, right?
Yeah. I mean, everyone's, there's no one that really rages or tries to bring the mood down. As I've said before in previous interviews, like the team's very composed.
Yeah.
I think just like the leadership skills that I have and leading the team, I feel like everyone just stays calm no matter what.
Yeah.
And everyone is chipping in into every single scenario. Like if we haven't seen anything, like we'll take attack pause and we'll talk about it. And yeah, I think everyone just chips in when they need to, and we basically play the best that we can.
And then going into Inferno, I mean, you guys are ahead 2-0 in the series. Were you at all like skeptical going into the map? You thought this is definitely a pick that Goliath still have some serious potential on, or were you guys, sort of seeing that as the home stretch?
I think Inferno, even though we never really played it as much, like leading up to Comic-Con and things like that, it was always like our ban.
Exactly.
I think recently I've done a lot of work on our T side and also Spray. We've put in a lot of work into our T side, so we knew even if the CT we were losing, let's say 8-7 or 9-6, we knew that our T side was really good. So they would have to have won Dust 2 in order to at least be like a 3-1 or a 3-2 or whatever. But as soon as we knew we won Dust 2, we were going to win 3-0.
Just one more thing I want to ask you about is Fady, because he just had a lights out series. He's playing some phenomenal Counter-Strike right now. How's he feeling in the team, and how are you guys viewing his performances?
Yeah, Reese is kind of like I see him as like a mini, like Simple in our team. I kind of just let him be, and he does a lot of the other side of the map sort of calling as well. He like does a lot for us. And like just before we started playing, Slowy said to all of us, he said, "I think Fady's going to destroy today." And I mean, Slowy was right about that. Reese has always just been consistent throughout any sort of match, and as you've said, even if the star players of our team, Slowy and Fady, don't perform, any one of us can put up the numbers and do anything.
Doru and Blaze also had like great performances tonight, but just to finish off the conversation about Fady, in the first pistol round on Dust 2, you guys will CT side, he pushes lower dark and he finds like 3 1-taps, and I'm like, cool, Fady's pitched up. Guys, let's just close up shop. Let's call it a day. We know exactly where this is going. So yeah, that's
as soon as you get that first USP headshot, there's more to come. Like
exactly.
It just feels so nice, so satisfying getting that first shot.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Reese, any final thoughts before we let Mr. Gareth go?
No, well, we were echoing his sentiment on the panel, as it were, before the game, right? And that if GG weren't able to correct the mistakes that they had previously on Dust 2 and win it, if not make it even closer, then this would be almost a 3-0, almost somewhat a guaranteed 3-0. And it was just really, really solid play from you guys. I mean, in the entirety of the 3 maps, I literally saw 1 overextension from you guys in ATK. So big congratulations for everything and all of your achievements and stuff in this tournament. And guys, it's ecstatic for you to go undefeated right throughout the tournament and then finish it in this fashion. It's extremely well played.
Thank you. I appreciate what the tournament's done. It was very well run. There was any technical issues or anything, so I'm very happy from a player's perspective of how everything was run. So happy with everything.
Be sure to say that on social media as well now, Agatha. Jokes aside, there's actually one last thing that I want to ask you guys, or ask you just to finish off this interview, this little conversation. Where to from here for the ATK squad? Because of course that American bell must be ringing now, and you guys are desperate to get over there. But the COVID situation just seems to be getting worse and worse on that side of the world. So, what's sort of your guys' plan for the next 6 months now?
Yeah, we're basically going to be taking like a break now up until mid-Jan, or when we have our next official. We're going to be taking quite a long break. People are going away and things like that. I think once we're back, I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of like groundwork for the team. Maybe going over the new or going over the maps again, just refreshing everything.
Yeah, changing a few things.
Yeah, regarding ATK, I'm not too sure what can really happen from now until America or wherever.
It's tough anyone to say.
We kind of have to just wait, but as soon as those borders open and COVID's kind of passed, I think we're going to be heading to America, and we're going to be really happy and excited to go there.
Yeah, I have one more thing I want to say, just keeps coming to me. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a blessing in disguise for you guys that. And, it does suck that the pandemic happened and kind of denied your guys opportunity to go to America a lot sooner. But what that has resulted in is you guys staying in South Africa for an elongated period and really building yourselves as a unit and constructing all your protocols, all your fundamentals, working on all the really finite details as well, which has really set you guys up when you're going to be moving over to America. You're going as a finished product, not as a team that still has to work on a lot of things.
No, for sure. I agree with that fully. I think everything is just clicking. If that didn't have to happen, if we got other certain players or anything, we wouldn't have been where we are now. Like we could have had 2 other players that could have joined, like the core, and that couldn't have worked out, and we could have just been pushing to go overseas. So COVID does have some positives in that aspect, I guess, that it kind of kept us here. But I think we're getting to that point where we're dominating so much. We need to start going there. We can only improve up to a certain point.
You reach the ceiling now, basically.
All right. We need to start getting challenged in order for us to progress as a team.
All right, Gareth. Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Always good to have a chat with you, mate. I'll see you a bit later for some Among Us games, I'm sure. But for now, I'm going to be bidding you farewell. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And again, congratulations on winning the event without even dropping a map. It was great to see.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a
Lekker.
good day. Cheers.
Cool.
Cheers,
Cheers,
man.
Gareth. All right, Reese. It has been 7 weeks. It has been fantastic. Counter-Strike. It's been all-out action. It's been all gas, no breaks. We have seen teams be eliminated. We started with 16 teams. We came down to just 2, and now we have only 1 left, and they've been crowned the champions, ATK, as everybody expected. But they did it in such a fantastic run of form. Didn't even drop a map throughout. Going up against Energy, who looked great in a best of 3. Going up against Goliath in a best of 3. Then Goliath again in a best of 5. And they still just dominated the opposition. What an awesome 7 weeks it's been. And thanks to Evesports and Intel for providing this opportunity and doing all these awesome giveaways over the past 7 weeks, giving back to the people, involving the community, creating the frag videos, creating these snippets, just trying to do as much content and create a player-centric environment. I think it's been phenomenal, and it really bodes well for our scene and community. So I speak for everybody when I say thank you for your contribution and your investment into the scene. And we really look forward to see what's going to be coming from Evesports next.
100%. And from our side, from the TO's side, is we want to get even more involved with the community wherever possible to try and really, find the communities that are there to support each other. Ultimately is our ultimate goal, and to provide a consistent tournaments and more like long spread out tournaments, 2 out of 3 months of the year, you get a nice long tournament like this. So one, you got an opportunity to play in other tournaments equally, as well as not get too burnt out, and I think it's a very important thing that's often not discussed is fatigue that you do experience being in competitive environments. And a lot of the players at the moment in South Africa especially have dual lives. They've got their work life as well as their
Studying,
competitive
school.
life, studying, school, all of those sort of things, 100%. And you just can't do everything to the utmost all the time, especially when it's condensed into weeks instead of months, So our intention going forward is that to find the most supportive communities, the communities that want to build themselves and help them do that.
Well, awesome, Reese. It's been a really fantastic 7 weeks, but this is us now signing off for the final time, man. What's your final words? Give it to the good people. Let's go.
Final words are there's going to be a couple more frag videos coming up. So all of the players and stuff, we've taken the best of the games. We will have, I think, a total of 6 frag videos after the fact that we do have another one to publish tomorrow. There'll be another one on Friday, and then 2 more in the week after that.
Wow,
so I'm going to try and get all of those published up so that you guys can add those into your portfolio, so you can, show the things that you've done. If you want to market yourself to other teams, etc., then you will have something to work off of from that, and you can show your performances in those sort of games. We will have a little competition coming up in the near future. Well, I say little, but it's actually going to be a massive one. Uncle Intel has given us quite the package. It's going to be, I think it's worth about 13,000 Rand, the package, and it will be a nice big bump to your PC spec and get you esports ready. So that is going to be coming up in the future. And
just sprinkling a little
space.
I love it, Reese. All right, well, it's been an absolute pleasure from my side to join you on the casting deck for these past 7 weeks. It's been great to witness the Counter-Strike that South Africa has on display. Awesome to get a new tournament organized in the space, and this is just the beginning of something that could be potentially huge, right? So guys, go support Evesports, go follow them on social media, subscribe to the YouTube channel, get engaged, get involved, tell them how great it's been to be having their competitions, because all that does is it continues to validate their space in the scene and encourage them to continue to do more, to give back to us as much as they've already been doing already. So with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us over the past 7 weeks. It's been great to have you all here for the journey and following along throughout this double elimination main event bracket to reach this point. ATK crown champions as they win 3-0 once again. Who can stop them? I don't even know if anybody can at this point. They're relentless, they're ruthless, and it's time for them to go overseas to test themselves against the best. But from Reese and myself, we're going to be bidding you guys farewell. I hope you have an amazing festive season, guys. Make sure you stay safe. Let's all just, do the things that's required of us at the moment to chip in and make sure that we really make a difference as a country and we get to a point where everybody can go back to their normal lives. But outside of that, I hope you guys have a great December. And from us, that's farewell for the final time. We'll see you guys next time. But until then,